reversion on the overextension, get involved a little too early, but when it does come in, get as aggressive as possible, more aggressive than anywhere here, catch a bit of the turn, and maybe a tape scalp through the day low. That's it.
Boom, 30 seconds, well done. Tesla, 2 attempts to the long side, no go on that one. 30-second trade view. I got 15 left here. Obviously, I have a little bit more, but the trade of the day was this NVDA to the downside here on the 5-minute neckline break and the continuous move to lower pricing. And then we also have the IBIT short, which is still continuously bleeding. We cannot stop this right now as the momentum is most definitely to the downside. Look at the waterfall type price action. That is your 60-second trade review with your boy Joey O. And Obi, he is the one Kenobi. Guys, I hope everyone's had a half-decent session. We've seen a lot of green, a lot of red, a lot going on in today. Well, guess what? I'm going to call it out right now.
Okay.
Today's selling is going to lead tomorrow into a rock and roll Friday. Okay. Let's get that going on here, guys. No rundown. We're getting the transition officially to the big desk. So as soon as that's done, everything's going to be coming from there. So a lot going on here. It's looking absolutely fantastic. Good stuff, everyone. Good luck. Send it over to Neil.
See you guys tomorrow. Take care.
I have a Christmas. I have a wish, both for Christmas this year and my birthday's on Boxing Day. So let's just call it a double up. All right. I'm not wishing for the market to turn. I'm not wishing for the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl.
Don't do that.
I'm not wishing for the Jays to get. I don't know, whoever, Kyle Tucker, whatever big free agent it might be, maybe the guy from Japan, maybe.
You should get Bo Bichette, though.
Or bring back Bo Bichette.
You should do that.
What I'm gonna wish for, right here, right now, Joe and Obi, is that when we show our charts, everybody has green for a buy on the triangles. When I look at this chart, every time there's a buy, it's green. And every time it's a sell, it's red. And every time, it's a short, it's purple.
We have to change our wishes here. But,
I'm joking around because I feel like we've always done that. And don't get me wrong, maybe I'm just old, and I always find it because I'm interested in looking at some of the executions that the boys have. But then I'll be squinting because I'm old at the chart, and I can't tell. I just feel like it stands out. That's why we pick these colors, anyways. It just makes it easier because the defaults on P Pro 8 are nonsensical, right? Like
make them
on P8. The defaults are like this teal color and a blue or something. However, a dark green for whenever you're buying, the purple for when you're selling, and the reverse for the, if you're long, it's just like green and red. Red to sell. Anyways, this really isn't that big of a deal. But we had a huge collapse today. And I saw a quote, I closed it on, someone tweeted something on X, and I was saying it to Sean, I'll just paraphrase it because I'm not going to bother to find it again. It was something along the lines of, that's the market for you. Some point in the upcoming days or weeks, we'll hear a narrative that explains why we had this happen today. So, the president said some things that maybe riled things up. I don't know, maybe I had a little Fed speak today. Was that it? Does it even matter? This happened. And we just have to look at the price action around it. And I think the biggest question that I had for myself during lunchtime was there anything that I wanted to buy on my shopping list that I was willing to do right now on what feels like kind of a day one because it's on NVIDIA earnings. So I only came up with one thing that I was looking for a nibble in at those ranges. So that's all I did. I picked up literally one stock during lunchtime. And it was just IBM. It held the 50 period for a couple of days, bounced yesterday out to 50, and it hasn't broken it today. So I usually don't want to go dip buying into something I like and not getting anything on a day like today. It doesn't mean I'm loading in, right? Like I'll just, if I plan on putting in X amount, I'll put in 20% here and just make sure I get something in because I was buying IBM on dips anyways. I elected not to step up in GE Vernova. And I'm leaving that bid in. I'm being stubborn about that one. I'm not bidding up on the nuclear names. I just don't feel like that's the right thing to do. So I'm still gonna wait for lower on those. I'm into one from the morning, and then I eventually got into Beyond Meat, just so shorts. Like here, the market is just continuing to fall. Like there's not much. What are we gonna talk about for strength? I think we found Walmart, and pretty sure that was it. We long the VIX. Walmart is up 6% and actually holding its gains. Lilly wasn't up last I checked. Like a lot of the things that even had been strong are looking pretty weak as well. So, It's been one of those kinds of days. I try not to, just don't worry about the explanations at this point. Technical, whatever, the price is the price.
Well, I made it really simple for Neil for his color issues here. This is the TQs. This is when we were long, all right? This is when we flipped short. As soon as it broke the day's low, we flipped short. And then we cover, and we're still in. So there it goes, man, all the way to the downside. So this is now $5 in the money on TQs that was reverse split. So it would have even been probably 10 or 12 bucks the other way. But again, doesn't matter. But there's the short that just came in again right there. So yeah, at the lows of the day right now. In short, the TQQ's at 52.44. We're trying to make it simple for these, for you traders out there. And then honestly, man, Google, like what an epic move down here again. We were lucky enough, so we averaged in here, lucky enough to get that dip, which brought us back up to the upside. So we made a little bit of money on the first dip. Now we're just buying more right at this level. I actually haven't gotten any out. The last 4 fills right here from 292. So I got that part out when we ripped up to there. But now we're falling in. I'm just going to give this to 290. If that breaks, then 290, sorry, yeah, then we're out of Google. Will not be no longer a friend of mine here, Google, looking lower right now. Wow, I was gonna say the names that I want to buy are still.
Yeah, there's not much.
Like, so Uber was one that I stepped in and bought a little bit of here, but that's down 6%, I think 7% now. So I bought a little bit here, $84-ish or so. Probably was about that price. Other than that, right, nothing.
Where's that? 83?
Yeah, Uber just has a huge whoops.
Have you seen the Bitcoin chart? Well, you probably have.
Yeah, Bitcoin, whatever, man. I said Bitcoin.
No,
I was just talking with Wayne in the back. I told him Bitcoin was cooked at 110.
74 Bitcoin.
You know, now it's 86, and like I just feel so stupid because we all sit here saying these things, but like still holding on to it. It's just a fucking.
Well, here's the way I will look at it for that. Like I first of all, put me in the camp that doesn't beat. Like you can't beat yourself up over stuff
money,
like that. Like here's the way I look at. Like look at Meta. Right, like Meta back in 2022 was a stock that lots of people loved. I know people that like this, and some of them on TV, whatever network, that said this was the best Mag 7 name. It went from $330 in a straight shot with 2 green months down to 95. That's Meta.
That's crazy.
Like Bitcoin's not doing. Like if Bitcoin did that, it's because Michael Saylor liquidates, and if Saylor liquidates. It's probably a temporary buying opportunity. But my only point about the chart is, before you were just testing under the support. In my opinion, this is a definitive break of that support level, right? So I'm now more like before. I was like, yeah, we're probably going to the low 70s. Now I'm pretty convinced we're going to the what is this bottom? It's like 74. I said low 70s, but I guess this is technically.
Try to battle back.
Yeah, technically it's more like 74, 75. So call it like the mid 70s, whatever. It's just a support line. But I think we're headed down there. So you get there. Some people say that's Michael Saylor's price. I don't know what that means because I don't even know what it would take for him to liquidate. To be honest with you.
I thought he's publicly said he's never liquidating.
Well, that's the other side of it.
The stock can just go to zero.
I'm only going with what people like to say online. They're like, oh, if it breaks down through there, you might have to liquidate. I don't know whether that's true or not. What I do know is he has enough that if he ever were forced to, you wouldn't have to ask whether it's happening or not. Like you're just going to know, and it will be so absurdly obvious that everyone's going to be freaking out. And if I see something like that happen underneath 70,000, then I think you want to have some powder dry on the off chance that that's some kind of ridiculousness happens. Now, is it likely? Nope.
But if we don't sell anything at the top, so we don't have any powder, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I always said, you don't have
but we're
to,
putting new money in. That's the problem.
No.
Like, I want to get out of this.
Well, I treat this, here's, in my AI plays, I didn't sell an ounce of NVIDIA, but I did sell a bunch of AMD. And I did sell ARM. So if I want to dip by AMD, I'm using money, because I'll usually take stuff out of the stuff I don't like as much, and there's things that I don't ever want to sell. So I've sold a bunch of ETH. I keep bringing that down. I was 60-40 Bitcoin to ETH at one point, mostly because, whatever, man, I had a buddy who talked up ETH. So I wasn't all Bitcoin. But I'm like, I like Bitcoin because you can't make any more of it.
Your friend is Tom Lee, or?
No, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to out it. It doesn't really matter. It's the guy we know from high school.
Yeah, I know you don't know.
but I've always wanted to end up like more like 80, 90% Bitcoin. So I sell other things to dip buy. That's my approach. There's always things that I don't really sell, but I like to buy on schedule. So it is what it is. Everyone does their own thing. To each their own. There was something I was going to say. There was a name.
We've just been buying more Google down here. I mean,
was it Walmart? It was something else I was going to get to. Because we're not going to do the rundown because they're working on the desk. Oh, I know what it was. Of all the names that are on the list, and because we still have the
Google
up. Like they're still going. There you go. Like it's Tesla, NVIDIA, Walmart, SOFI, BBAI. I'll let you talk Google. We can get to some of the names on the list just for you guys.
Yeah, we'll go to the list for sure. I just want to talk about the trades that we're in just right now in case some people are trying to think about trying to buy some dips. I've just been buying Google on this, man, the whole time. Like every time. It's a strong name. It just made all-time highs today. Like I was crushing this name 300 to 306. Like I gotta like it down here if the market turns. You know, it's not gonna work out for me like you know, 1-to-1 risk to reward or anything here because we're long at 290.78s, as you guys can see. But trying to get out now for $1, like this rate now is about 1-to-1 because we're going to get out if it breaks 290. But I do want to hold something for that proverbial dream that I keep having here of making a shit ton of money. But that's what I'm here for. So let's see if we can do that. Back up here into the 50-period moving average would be great. 293. Like we let this go up, and we just kept on taking out like basically 10%, 5%, whatever on the way up, like every $1. So I'm trying to do that now, but I'm not getting the same feelings, man. I feel like this market does want to go significantly lower here. Like we're down. When we left earlier, we were up 2%. Excuse me. Up 2% on the day. Now we just cracked down 2%. So even as I was talking about this trade, it just turned around to 80 cents right there. So yeah, this is why I wanted to talk about it because we are starting to break down here pretty aggressively. And if we break 290, man, then no more reloads of anything. We still are short the NASDAQ with the TQQs here, triple levered right now as that's trying to hit the skids as well. But here we go, man. It's just another violent day in the markets. Neil and I have sat here for so long this week and been watching down 2%, you know, down 1%, like up 1%, back and forth. Like I don't know if there's going to be a calm day in this market. At least now with earnings finally through, and not, you know, there's still some names, but you know, no like needle mover market wise.
Who's left?
Not much. Adara actually sent me the list there tonight. Or no, she didn't send it yet. But it's WeBull is tonight. There's a few there's a few other disasters that may happen tonight. Intuit is tonight. Okay, I'm just waiting for that from Adara. But WeBull's still above $8. What the hell is that doing? Oh, by the way, my prediction that we made at 150 for Robinhood going down to $100. You're $7 away now from that. So I don't hope for that to happen. But that is about to happen. And that's what I was talking about. Like, if I was a smarter man, you know, I would have sold at 150. I don't own any Robinhood. But this move down, just like in CoreWeave and all that stuff, it's what you sell at the top, you know, you can put back lower, or you're putting in, like we were saying, new money, or, you know, you just got to get out of what you get out of. And, you know, we sold some AMD at 250, but SoFi is another name that I'm definitely interested in, man, all the way back down again. So
that was the name I was going to bring up because it's
a matter of the banks. Like JP Morgan's at 300 still, so.
Well, that's the thing. If the traditional banks aren't holding the bid, like, come on.
Google just ripped again.
That's the way I look at it. Like they're not holding the bid either. Like SoFi, nah, man. Like if this loses 25, why couldn't we? If it gets frisky, see 20? Like that's not absurd.
No.
So I'm kind of thinking that. But just very quickly for some trades, because I think this is. Try it again. This is like we're at that point. I'm just going to show you 3 points on a trend line. Lose it, I'm out. So I've been shorting. It's with one exception. I'd say well on Open Door. It was a bad entry, I think, because I should have been in here. It doesn't really matter. But this trend line is now trying to break, but I'm going to give it some room to wiggle and break back above this prior low. Just the way this is going. Like it's not reaching a spot that I would reload. Only the big pullbacks am I reloading shorts. Or yeah, I guess pullbacks or bounces. Like in this case, it'd be bounces, but you know what I mean. But I am going to move my stop up a little bit. So definitive break of this trend, and I jump out of it. Beyond's doing Beyond things. And Death God, yeah, SoFi looks beautiful at $20. I think you can have if this ends up being really bad, you can have some ideas of, things that you like. In the case of SOFI, I did sell a third of my SOFI, no more. But the whole point would be to get that back in somewhere, and probably not going to start until I see it closer to like 20 or something like that. Or I just wait a quarter at least. I try to think of it that way. Either it gets to the price I want, or I'm just going to wait a quarter. And then someone asked, have we seen the markets move down like this before? Look, Sean's been trading since 02. I've been trading since 03. So, this might seem bad, but we've done nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Like, forget about COVID. Everyone gets that a little bit. The misconception is this is COVID. That is not COVID. This is the inflation from the COVID spending unwinding. That's actually COVID. Like, COVID was a drop in the bucket that was just a buying opportunity. Like, I don't think it wasn't a crazy pullback the way that the 2021 dip was. But if you really think about it, like back into, I can't even see 08 in here. Oh no, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Why was I struggling to be able, like when you pull it back, like there's a dot-com bubble burst. And then there's the financial crisis 08. The Qs were at 55 and went to 25. Cut more than in half. That's not Robinhood. This is whatever. It's not Robinhood. It's not only high fund. That's the NASDAQ. So we have not seen anything crazy yet. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I actually don't think it will happen. I don't think it's that type of, I don't think we're in that kind of a mess. Or, people talk about a bubble bursting. I don't think we're in that type of a mess. But we'll see. And we still have people who are saying, well, we're not going to get the cut. We're still at 30%, right? So
you are getting the cut. Today's move tells you you're getting the cut, in my opinion. But there it is right now. It is a nice move, man. It is your face slapper right there on Google. Google now. I mean, I just put this on. We just put this on as Neil was talking, man, just before. There it is at 290.50. It's at 292 now as we go back up to the upside. Still got half on. So far, so good here. As we are back up to, okay, let's just put an offer there. Yes, sir. All right, that was actually really good. So here okay, now we're really starting to go. Now we're almost $2 in. This is why we sit here, man, and we talk about trading every single day. And like Neil's saying, man, we got the experience here. So we're putting on some real deal Holyfield trades right now. That was a good one. And I was just like, I'm buying Google, man. If anything's going to rebound, look, there's probably better rebounds. The thing is Apple actually has been pretty good. Like Apple down 0.4, like Apple's just like, it's Thursday, nothing to see here. Wow, we actually made more money on this than I thought right here on Google. So I'm just gonna. It's funny because the money comes in much faster now, just like it goes away much faster, and it's just the veracity and sort of how these moves are coming through. It's like I was just thinking about getting some out there at 291.50, and then boom, it's at 292.50, and it's. Okay, and it just fills me all the way on the way up. So that was actually a lot better there P&L wise than I had sort of thought. But I'm gonna get some more out right now at 92.10. So just piecing it out. So now I actually, because we got out right there, I only have a third left now. As it just ran into all these, that's what I was saying, like all of a sudden I just looked over and I was like, what? So those fills came in real quick. That's that 92.50 right there. Just in case you guys were wondering, very kind words in the chat for some of you guys, man. So thank you so much. But it's this TQQ. I'm looking at this 50 period break, but because of what we just said here, I'm gonna put it to 48. Now remember, we were long early, right? This was a great trade. We were well up, and then we got stopped out. Actually, we got stopped out on the market. This is the NASDAQ. Oh, shoot, that's right. It was split today. Right in here, you can't see it, but there is the stop out. So we went long there, stopped out, and as soon as we stopped out, I said the momentum is not happening, and it was a short there. And then there we go. Double the short, double your pleasure, all the way to the downside there with a big one to come through. Google's still going to be P&L number one here for me today, but the TQs is having themselves a day as well. And it just, it's kind of like just any other day. You got to trade your plan, trade the game, and today the game kind of got turned a little bit upside down. Yes, Jesse Garth, that is a double mint reference there.
Double your pleasure,
double your fun.
That was good, by the way.
The gum or something like that.
Yeah, the gum you gave me.
Yeah, those pure gums. Yeah,
I already forget the name of it, but thanks.
Pure.
I'll chew
no
it on
sugar.
at home.
No sugar.
But you're right, it doesn't last very long.
No.
But someone just said in the chat, and I happen to be looking for this reversal on silver at the time. Aren't gold and silver supposed to go up when the market's down? correlations like that are not written in stone, and sometimes you will have risk-off events where pretty much everything goes down. That's par for the course. In a general sense, you've had some strength in these names when the market can be a little bit weak, or when tech weak or growth is weak, like whatever it might be. But it's not, again, it's not written in stone. You cannot think of those things as some kind of a law. If it was a law, then no one could ever.
I am the law.
Like if it was that clear a correlation, then there'd be no such thing as trading. There'd be no edge anywhere ever. So it can't work that way. That being said, I do like silver still. It's still making some higher lows on the way back in the longer sense, right? Like it was good off the 50 period. I don't know if we get to the 50 period again. Right now, the all-day trend is trying to break. And it took a while to get back to the all-day trend line because it was still trending down. And the other thing I like about this is, well, as the market was making continuous lows, it didn't break the low. So this actually held the same bottom. So I'd rather see it hold the bottom, then break the trend, and then I can get in, throw my stop in, which I can do before I'm in position. And then there's the trade. So I'm looking to get long in the 80s. I do have a bid at 9. You know what? I'll step up to 90s. And then, oh, well, that was on auto cancel. And then throw the bid back in at the 80s as well. My stop's already underneath the prior bar. I'll look for the move into 46 and then the volume weighted average price. But just something that looked a little bit relatively strong. Don't have to worry about it catching the bottom. Just catch the turn upside. But I do think, you know, if you like gold or silver, today probably wasn't the worst day in the world to have bought that dip, right? Like when things that should be defensive fall on panic, they can be good buys too. That's half of the reason why I liked IBM over some other things as a buy. I feel that's a defensive quantum play with a dividend. So therefore, I'd rather buy the dips in that. Like I'm darn sure not buying the dips in D-Wave. I'm sitting on a bid of GED, but I'm definitely not buying the dip in, or I'm not sitting on the bid in SMR, right? And you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just talking about myself personally. Like if we're in the first leg of a move down, I know the kinds of things I'd rather dip buy.
Yeah, no, I don't want to, we said this yesterday, like I don't want to buy things that aren't making any money. I mean, I went right over to Uber. Uber's PE is 14.
I don't even want to call up SMR.
Right so, yeah, I don't want to
What do you think? Don't look.
SMR, like.
Don't look.
I don't, 17?
Oh, I knew, see the.
I have no idea.
No, it broke 20. It did break
20.
19.
Okay, 19. I only thought you were asking me because it was like dramatic, because I knew 20 was around yesterday, or yeah. I think 20 was the low, so now we've broken
Trust
that.
me, that's not good.
You know, the one nuclear name that I mean, that's, holy shit. Oklo today was one that I was interested in for a nuclear name. Like, I thought this was going to be one of the higher quality names. You know what? CoreWeave is probably getting kicked.
Oh, Circle.
Down 3% here. CoreWeave as well, man. That had a huge run. I mean, no salvage. You had to be a savage to trade this, but no salvage in this at all. Like, who knows where this is finally going to get picked up. And you just mentioned Circle. I mean, what about some of those more recent IPOs? StubHub. StubHub's $10. Oh my God. Right now, that's a little low there, StubHub. Yeah, that's pretty low right now. So some of these names are going to be some sort of value plays, but again, you want to have names that actually make money. So what about going over to a Ford or a GM or something like that? You know, that's been very stable. That doesn't normally move 3 or 4%. You know, they've been pretty hot, breaking higher. GM also. And the name that honestly, just in this space, and I said this to Neil as well, I actually want to get longer Tesla. But I think that Tesla, like, look how well GM is off their earnings, right? I mean, a little bit of a kick down on this probably gets bought, right? But it's Tesla today that had a lot going for it, man. I mean, this is right back to the levels that I like, actually, down here at 400. So maybe instead of me trying to pick bottom here on, and it's a good thing we got out more on Google. Google's come all the way back in, by the way, right now, as has the market. But yeah, looking at Tesla down here at 400 is interesting. We had gone long the last little while around this 398 level, so we could see if that plays. But this is why, man, I told you we only had a third left, and then we got out of one more piece, so a little under a third left now as Google comes right back in. Look, let's put on a little bit more if it does get to 290.50. I'm going to take another piece right here. But if it gets to 290.50, let's put on a little bit more, and then that's it, because I always screw this up when we talk about it, but I don't want to throw good money after bad. You know, like if I'm going to make a mistake here and let Google come all the way back down, which I'm not. I mean, we're in We still got a good amount.
You know what the irony is?
We still got a good amount of shares.
But you actually say that quote correctly every single time. You just, I don't think I've ever heard you say it wrong. I think it's just such an awkwardly worded thing that people think they're saying it.
I always think, yeah, like it's definitely, I'm not using it right, but you always correct me,
It's,
but
it's an
always
awkward
right.
phrase, but you're using it right every time. But that just to me means it's an awkward phrase.
You know why? I don't know if it's good for trading because by not getting out, you're making a bad decision. So that's why I feel like good money after bad. But it's anyways, it's just,
Where's the more you know, or one of the, I don't have any of those keys on my Stream Deck. That's the one.
yeah.
There we go. And by the way, for everyone in the chat, I don't know why YouTube is doing that thing where everyone's name got changed again. So.
What is my name?
Yeah, it's that thing where everyone has the @ sign in front.
Oh yeah, I have let's go on.
Yeah, like this just keeps happening.
Let's go.
And it comes down to like whatever, it just gives you the name of whatever your like YouTube page is. So you can go in and you can change that if you don't like what it says. So like mine's a little, like Sean's is Sean, there it is, like Sean Katina, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then I don't know what I'm showing up as.
I changed
Oh,
mine.
mine's just Neil TTV.
Yeah,
so
I changed mine the day it was all messed up.
Yeah, so you can tell who we are. Of course, this is the only thing. Like I just got trailed out of open.
Nice.
But it's not really, so I'm trailed out of it. It's not at a level I want to get back in. We just lost program again, guys. Okay. So this would be the all-day trend, which is really steep and close to VWAP. But there's also this, which connects.
Oh, shit, I'm getting out too
which
many
kinda
shares
connects.
here.
So I'm thinking either one of those. I'm going to leave these both up as levels to get out of. And silver, which we just got. I did not get. Okay, none of my trend lines are saving. There we go. For sure it's going to save this time. I did not get the dip into the 80s. I stepped up to take some at 90, but the plan was to get it on the trend break. It never happened. So I'm playing for right around 46.3 here on SLV. And keep a close eye on gold as well. GLD. For some reason, GLD is like 5th on the drop down when I type that. But strong trend to the upside as well. I wouldn't want that reverting on me. For sure. And just because we usually do this, usually go through the rundown, but I mean, NVIDIA, Tesla, SoFi, we talked about BBI, Walmart. I'm going to restart this. So everybody in the chat, thank you to James Kelly for mentioning hymns, but when you type it again, put a $ in front. So $, I'll put $ hymns for you because you want that symbol, and we'll get some fresh ones in there. Micron's popping up there. Tesla. Wow, just Tesla 3 right away. That's intense. So just keep those symbols coming in. We can cover pretty much anything that you guys want. That's what it's all about. And we'll keep our eyes on that as the market is making its attempt at a rebound. On the NASDAQ, this is going to be, 1 minute to go, our third green candle in this move. So it did 2 from this bottom, and it's trying to put the first one in. So I trail out of one short. I'm almost out of the other short. Really don't have much left in Beyond Meat, but whatever. We'll show you. This is Beyond Meat. I never moved my stop. I kind of kept it at break even, but let's be real. Why keep it at break even? That's a trend break. Literally just going to punch out. Probably should be out here, a cent lower, but I was only sitting in the last 10% of it, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think I let this get to VWAP. Big miss. Yesterday, when it broke $1, it went 4 cents. I was looking for a 10-cent move. Today, when it broke $1, it went 10 cents. And you're looking for, again, a penny stock, that's kind of what you're looking for. 4 cents isn't really that good for that type of a trade because you're shorting ones and you're giving it to like 1.5 or 2. So you want it to go down 10 pennies, not 3 or 4, right? And it did that today. So silver is the only position I have on. Let us know what else you guys are watching. Tesla, SOXL, IBM, topping the list right now. SOXL makes tons of sense, of course. Did they also? There was a lot of. There were a bunch of ETF splits, and I guess these guys didn't. UVXY, for sure. TQs.
TQs for sure, yeah.
I feel like there was another one that.
There was. I thought it was SOXL or SOXS or something.
Maybe it's another one. All right,
One
either way,
as well.
just know that they happen periodically, so you never freak out, overnight when you see a big change in price.
All right, although I can't see the screen, I know all of you can. Each year, over 4 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is no FDA treatment. Please check them out. It's OGen, it's Orogenics. Their symbol is OGEN, and that is on the NYSE. They do have a first-in-class intranasal drug that is designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach over $9 billion in 2027. Orogenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Please schedule an appointment today if you are interested to learn more by scanning on that QR code as we keep talking about the importance of brain health and safety. And if you have any athletes in your life, or you're one yourself, or we even show, oh, there it is. We're back, Mark, we're back right now. So yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you know, make sure you do take care of that head of yours, because you never know. They can happen to anybody. You know, we had just an example there of someone getting in a car accident. So it's all over the place. You might have heard me be like, oh my God, I just took out too much. Well, it turned out to be a good thing there. I had 2 offers up here on the way. Like, it just went whoosh, a Google right there. So now I have only 15% left. So I got 10% out right there each at the top there at 50. So that was a really good fill. Part out at the 50 period moving average. These are $2 winners. So we're just gonna take them out and now have 15% left. We'll put on that exact 15% again if it comes back into here, and then just rinse and repeat it if we're lucky enough to do that. And then if it breaks down below, we'll lose 50 cents. We'll get $2 and lose 50 cents. I mean, that's already done a whole bunch of times here on Google today. So far so good, man. The scalping continues. We'll put on our scalper's hat every day, but again, I know what I do well around here. Hosting, mid, trading, hopefully a little bit better. Okay, so actually, you know what? I got to reset my e-signal right here, because I think it might have gone haywire. I'm not getting any updates on scans hitting right here. So I'm going to refresh that, and then, yeah, we'll get an idea in just a second here.
When I sat back down.
Yeah, I think everything was a little bit buggy, right?
No, I got up for a bit, and when I came back, and the market was already going ham, and I gave the lesson of the day. Like, I sat down, and like we were already like catapulting. So I was like, what can you do about this? Because did you want to short things at random prices? Oh yeah, no. I should probably at some point. But my trade rate on e-signal was going nuts.
That's what I was just going to
show. Like right now doesn't look too crazy, but it was.
Can you zoom in on that?
It was flying around. This is the usual suspects though.
Yeah, but it's interesting to show what they're doing.
Broadcom, MSTR.
There we
goodness.
Go.
That's something. You want some things that you might not want to look at today. MSTR, BMNR. Rigetti, 7%, but it's not going too crazy. But when the market was going a little haywire, I don't know why I have some blank things on there. Weird. Whatever. I'll refresh that at some point. But there was a couple of names I wanted to go over in a quick little second. But as we're dipping back in, I was kind of hoping we would trend, maybe even get the 80s or at least the 90s. But if we put a higher low here in silver, then I might just try to take it on the higher low back into the volume weighted average price. The name that I did want to talk about, we mentioned that they're reporting. Right now, they are number 4 on the, I don't know if I can do this so you can see. I'm blocking a lot of this. Whatever. WeBull is on our visualizer that people are interested in. They report, oddly enough, they're not down today.
I know, isn't that weird?
I'd say that's very weird. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's already bottomed, in terms of breaking. It broke its low before this even happened. And sometimes, like, you already have a capitulation bottom going into an event like this where the market is giving a pullback, but it's putting in a higher low. Boom, higher low at 8. There's still an hour and a half to go, so don't at me if this breaks lower, but it's putting in another higher low going into earnings. It's entirely possible that given what's happened today, they might not have to do much to get a bounce. They could get a relief rally just because there's exhaustion in the stock from all of the selling, and some shorts are going to take some profit. So I think this would be an example. The fact that it held up and held the $8 level today, and the fact that it didn't make any fresh lows, gives it some chance for some juice. I don't know how they're going to report, ultimately. And I don't think it necessarily matters. If I find this stock breaking out through $9 tomorrow, then I'm going to want it long. The report could probably even stink, and I'd still say that, because it's not going to be about fundamentals for a WeBull. And I'd say the same thing about like Rigetti or I don't know, like an IonQ or any of those types of names, or maybe not SOFI. SOFI, the fundamentals matter. I'm trying to think of a fintech name that would be in that boat, but I can't. So.
Of what? Same as WeBull? Or?
Yeah, like what's a fintech name that would be as non-mature or solid?
Non-mature?
Yeah, like give me something less solid than SOFI. speculative.
I mean, Affirm and maybe Upstart.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
Affirm,
they're
Upstart,
more,
those are
they've
good
been around
examples.
the market a little bit longer.
Even
I mean, new
Affirm's
names
not
like
that bad.
Bullish.
Bullish is a good example. That's a good example. Affirm's mature enough that I think.
Affirm been around. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed. By the way, we're doing it again, man, on Google, as it's back up to 292, now $1.50. Oh, not this guy. What now? What now, Joseph? What do you? Oh, it's for me. Why, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. But yeah, nice little huge move now happening in Google. We're $1.50 in the money on Google, $5 in the money on TQQ. That's 10%. We're 10% in the money on this trade, by the way. There's $5 on a $50 name right there. So that's going to be a good trade. No, but I was just going to look at Palantir because I think that if you're trying to get like some market get up here, Palantir might be the name for you because if this market ever does start to go ham one more time, Palantir will get back up to the upside. You see, I always say judge us on the trades and the decisions that we make, but they're always really clear on our charts, as Neil was talking about earlier. You know, like here's Palantir. So I'm red on Palantir today. You know? But that's it. That's the redness. It's that. And we're out of there. And sure, I can get smoked on some days, but the only, well, hopefully not, but when you keep on averaging in all the way down, and that's one thing that I've changed over, even just over the last week and a half, is that the violent moves in these markets, like there was one day, let's just say, for example, I lost whatever, big amount, let's just say $500 on Google, and then I was down 500, then only to have to make it all the way back with all the other trades. And it's just like, it could be one horrible trade, and then you claw your way back, or sometimes you don't. And it's the days that you don't is when you get smoked. So if I just kept on believing in Palantir all the way down, I would have got absolutely destroyed. You know, but you get in and you get out, and now it's maybe time to look at it when you can clearly see that there's a bottom here. You know, and if you're going to go long now, you'll get rewarded. If you're right and the market tends to go back to the upside, well, you're taking about a 156 bottom. I mean, if you play that very bottom wick, I don't know if you want to do that, that's 50s. But here's about $1 or so worth of risk. Let's call it $1.50 worth of risk. Just to get to the 200 is 159. So that's $1.80. So if you flip a coin and it tells you to go long, this is not a horrible situation, and it just goes to show, I'm practicing as I preach here, that's exactly the trade on Google. We talked about getting out if it breaks 290, break to the downside, so we bought 290.50s, we bought it twice, and now it's, you know, upside, so that was something. There was a name that I wanted, oh, it was Tesla I like, but there was something else I wanted to talk about, and now I cannot remember. Oh, I wanted to look at Berkshire here quickly, because this name is not even down on the day. Like Berkshire's up.
That kind of makes sense.
We know they own Apple. Yeah, but we know they own big banks and all that. I think it's a lot of traders don't want to sell this name. They're into cash. They just recently bought Google, so we know that there's some love there for Google. And I was just thinking, like, if you wanted to get a little bit more diversified but still be in like an ETF, Berkshire's not, you could do worse, basically, is sort of what I'm saying, than being in Berkshire.
I think people probably like the fact that, like, when on days like today, they're like, well, Berkshire's got a bunch of cash. So they're,
you got to deploy it at some point, though, right?
You know, they have to deploy it somewhere, because it's not like you're not getting a dividend from them, right? So it's never about that for Berkshire and safety.
Cash is worth like 3%.
Yeah, they get a return, but I think it's the faith that they're going to deploy it well, I suppose. And if the market goes down, they'll be able to pick up some deals. Because otherwise, like, I can understand why some dividend names might do good on a day like today. So this is the second time. I really wanted, I wanted this to hold VWAP, clearly. There's your trend break. Not, like, I didn't get it down here. Would have been a little bit more precise if I got it down there, but it is what it is. Tried to break the volume weighted average price, wicked it once, didn't really come into the dip buy anywhere I like to support. Wicked it a second time. I'll give it one chance to hold above VWAP, and then I'll get out. And if it gets and holds above VWAP here, I might jump into the long again. Otherwise, I'm just waiting for that low. And the other thing I'm starting to think, whatever. I was about to tell you, now that I got out of that, let's look for the opportunity to get back into the short of open door, which should never have got out of. It's going right back into the low. So I'm just going to continue to hunt. I still want to have something that I believe is a short the pop. I'm not finding anything. unfortunately.
48 here.
Yeah, still low of the day.
Yeah, the market is
Still low of the day there.
What time is it? 2:40. Okay, so you know, I mean, we can have a quick. It's too early to look at the imbalances, but I'll look at them anyways.
Damn.
BAC a buy. There's all buys, so that's why I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. I don't know if this means that we're going to turn around or not. You know, let's do a poll. You want to do ES or NASDAQ? Let's do NASDAQ because
NASDAQ.
ES is only 1% right now. So what about a poll that's something like, will the NASDAQ get to -1% or not? Like something like
1%?
that. Yeah, because like, you know, right now the market is teetering, obviously, and we're going to figure that out. Like, you're still down quite a lot right here. So where do we think the market's going from here, I think, is the question. We could do right now, like plus or minus 1.8%. I don't know. I don't know what we want to do.
I like that better because it's like, what does it do from here till the close?
Right. So right now, let's say it's down 1.7. Just use 1.7 because that way, you know, by the time people. But then again, people are going to vote once it's already over.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, no, let's use the 1%. You can't do it that way because you have to close it within 5 minutes. Well, let's just say, will the NASDAQ get to down 1%? That's a decent
That was my initial thought.
Yeah, that's more reasonable because then at least we do it.
Right.
Just to get a little bit of a consensus, just something to do.
I think no, before Neil puts it up there, just because I don't know if this market has enough juice to rally back, man. I mean, it's going to have to be led by who? I mean, it's going to have to be led by NVIDIA, I guess. I asked Adara what the news was bringing this thing down. There wasn't really anything. There was some Fed talk there. I mean, Adara literally mentioned that President Trump was losing his mind a little bit. No, we're not. Well, I already did, so sorry, Adara. But other than that, though, Fed's Cook made some comments about a sharp decline in the market potential. Yeah, there's Adara behind us. Goolsby also talked a little bit today as well. And, you know, I think it's that when Fed speak happens, sometimes, you know, you have to be aware that, you know, the market will react to said speak, and whether or not they should, that's not our thing. It's we just sit here and trade and try to figure out what the market actually wants to do instead of what is it doing. Like, that's why we put these votes up. If I knew if this was going to go back to 1%, then hell yeah, man, I would just load up on everything right now. But NVIDIA this morning, people were celebrating, man. Like, it was a good report, you know? People liked that report. NVIDIA was up 5% today. It added billions and hundreds of billions to its market cap, you know? Only then to all of a sudden have the Fed say something? I just, you know, to me, that's a little bit too exaggerated. We get back down to 180. But this is why I want to say the sky is not falling. And I said this to Wayne over there. It's like, we're just back to where we were, man. Like, we were at 180. This is October 24th. So I guess it's a month ago. But we've been here before. So I don't want to panic. The only reason why this feels a lot worse is obviously because of where we came from today.
And because we felt good about it.
Right. Like if we had known any better today, we could have all just been short, you know, but we didn't know any better. And it's not that we're supposed to know any better. I don't know what to do. The market seemed like it was pretty, you know, happy-go-lucky, you know, at 9 o'clock.
They did everything that I wanted to see out of NVIDIA, and I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
We talked about that downward sloping revenue curve,
Google.
like revenue growth curve. Well, that flattened out, and the guidance made it curve back to the upside. The margin was good. So pretty much anything, and look, I'm no analyst, but that's what all the analysts said. Anything you were hearing about what you wanted out of that report, you got.
Here we go, guys. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Exactly, and it just so it'll feel a little different because we did the reversal, but this is not the first time that we've had this happen on any kind of an earnings cycle, that we gap up and then there's profit taking for the entirety of the day. You know, we've had this happen before, and this is not 08. If it was 08, trust me, like it's kind of one of those things that's hard to explain if you weren't around 08. It was just so built differently. Like 2%. Like 2% down days, that is nothing. Like back in 08, if you had a 2% down day, you're like, oh, whew, you get to take a break. Like the bad days were much, much worse. So just, you know, you can get that exhaustion and you can be disappointed, but overall, just just have like a clear head. So I am jumping back in over VWAP on silver. So I've got like a new trend. After it broke this one, we jumped in, got out when it lost VWAP, but now it's kind of retaking VWAP. For now, the stop is underneath this 46. If it loses that, I can get out, and I want to sort of see if I can't build into it above VWAP, and then hopefully we can get that push into 46 quarter, 46 half. If that happens, great. If it doesn't, I'm not really thinking short reversal on silver. Like I'd rather, if I'm shorting something on pops, I'd rather it not be this. I feel like there should be something better. Like it almost has to be something better, but I can't really find too much.
I actually wanted to go long on gold, but it's not down that much.
Someone just mentioned SMR. Like what? Like there's actual bounces happening in some places.
What is it now, 19?
No, but look at how little it's bouncing. That's the real story. Like look at how deep the move is. Your $3 move down from 22. So it's down 8%, but 22 to $19. That's a 14% move. Like it's down, that moves 14% from VWAP, not even the high of the day, and the bounce is $19 to $19.30. That stock is in trouble, for sure. That's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem with some of these names, is because there are things that people will want to dip by, and there are things that people will be very hesitant to dip by. And you remembered that really well in the financial crisis. Because some of the best days during 2008 and the financial crisis for day trading weren't shorts. They were bounce long plays. But believe me when I tell you, you weren't sitting doing these bounce plays on garbage stocks. It was when some really great company hit a ridiculous level and you could just see the bid was unbeatable. And it would always be some really gigantic quality company that you knew was going to turn it around. And then the second you saw that bid, you would just scalp it. It would be at like $50 or, I don't know, like 17, something even dollar or whatever, really obvious. And sometimes you would just scalp it. You see the millions of shares on the bid, you go long ones or twos, and you take a bunch out at 7, 8, 9, 10, and then maybe you let the rest ride. Those were a lot of the best trades in 08. And you kept it really, really simple, but you just had to wait for it to get to that type of a level. But you wouldn't do it on things like SMR. Like you would do it on things like Apple or like the banks.
Yeah.
The banks that weren't screwed is obviously.
Banks that weren't
screwed.
screwed.
No, you didn't.
It's like I think what you're saying is like you just want to look for good quality stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that's quality is
that's
better. That's a better way to put it.
The way around everything is the answer to everything is just.
Do they make money? Do they have cash?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying about Berkshire. Like they have cash, but what are they actually even doing with the cash right now? We're waiting to see where they deploy, and they did well getting Google apparently.
I like that.
As we're gonna wait to see some more of that. I know they got rid of some of their Apple shares. We know that.
Dollar says they buy more this quarter of Google.
Google, yeah, I think they buy more Google for sure, and they might even buy back some Apple. Apparently, the Google buy was to correct the fact that some of the internal talks were that they were, not that they were mad that Warren never bought Google, but that was one of the misses, apparently, that I guess they had discussed it previously.
I think he earned a few misses, though.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I mean, when you've been investing since the 1930s, I mean, honestly, he's got some great calls, but I just want to say great timing also by Warren Buffett. I mean, his calls were probably not even, I mean, look, one of the greatest investors of all time, I'm not going to sit here and say like, boo-hoo on that. But, he called Apple. He bought that forever. Got some great deals in 08 on those banks, man. I mean, the guy was sitting in his bathtub, apparently, and got an offer to basically take over BAC for like $2 or something like that. So, when you have a lot of money, a lot of things happen to fall.
Imagine getting that phone call. That's
what I'm saying.
Because he's smart enough to know that, word? You want to just give me money?
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
And then you got warrants and all that kind of stuff. But, there was a lot better things to buy that probably, like, I don't think he was really into NVIDIA or not into Tesla or anything like that. So there was obviously opportunities.
Yeah, it's not his
exactly. There was opportunities to make more money than that. But, as an investor and as somebody that's building a portfolio, Berkshire, it's hard to beat that. So nothing wrong there. All right, just an update as we were talking there. So I got another out on Google at 292.50. So, the percentage now that we're holding is down to 10 again. So we're at 15, now we're down to 10 on that. We still want to reload if it comes back in, but at this point we could lose this whole bid and it really wouldn't matter. We've sort of done the damage that we need to do here today. Let's just do a little bit of a broader look quickly on the markets. I mean, we've kind of ignored Bitcoin, Neil and I, but it's 87,000, and Ethereum, we can go over that. Maybe we'll do a broader look, and then we can dive a little bit into crypto at some point here. But if we go back to 10 o'clock this morning, when I did this, every single sector, we could not find a red sector, and we did find one. It was healthcare. And I was like, well, you know, and I remember Neil was like, well, if AbbVie gets a little lower, maybe we'll buy some of that and blah, blah, blah. Well, now, scrap that idea right now, as everything on here is red. I remember we called this up, and it was Caterpillar, and I'm like, wow, Lamb is good. Remember GEV was up quite nicely today?
Yep.
Now down 5%? Like, come on, that's probably worth buying. I'm not into Caterpillar yet. They just made highs.
Only 1%?
I know, so I'm wishing that said -5 for me to buy it, but that's not, I don't wish that.
It's a good stock. It doesn't really drop much.
Yeah, these producer manufacturers, just to try to get something different. And then today, it's really amazing that this guy over here, man, Sam Waltman, I almost said Waltman, that's Sean Waltman is X-Pac from DX, so shout out to DX right there. Degeneration X, okay, we have that. Hit your Stone Cold, oh, this guy's on that.
Didn't someone get teed up for doing the DX? And maybe?
Yeah, maybe, I think you get teed up. Oh, what's his name got a touchdown? Oh man, it was George Pickens, and then he jumped on the goalpost and slid down it, and that got a flag. I'm like,
Jamo did that too.
I'm like, how did that get a flag?
Jameson Williams did that, and he got flagged. I'm like, for that?
Anyways,
that dude literally, like, the dude literally was like humping the ground one time. I'm not even sure he got flagged for that. But if you hug the goal pole,
it just seemed silly when I saw it. I thought it was funny. Yeah, there's Costco actually only down 0.8. Or sorry, still up 0.8. My bad. Home Depot, like some of these names right here, I don't want to call like this is a disaster kind of day, because I mean it is, but there are some green shoots here somewhere today, and you just got to search hard enough and you shall find them. Did you say something to us, Andre, there? No, okay. You can see in the background that we are working on that desk. There's Adara. Hi, Adara. Yeah, and there's Rob right there as well, as we're getting it set up. Hopefully the market recap show, if it's set up on time, will be at that desk. And it's supposed to be myself and Derek, a brand new host tonight. I don't know if that's still happening though, so I gotta find Brendo. Adair, are you with me tonight, or?
Not as far as I know, but I'm down.
Okay, yeah, well, Adair, I know, you're always down, I know that. So
We know it.
Adair's down if that is the case, but either way, there is a market recap show tonight, whether or not it's myself and Adair or Derek, I'm not sure, I haven't seen him yet, but yeah, that's the thing, I was just gonna go over that. Yeah, it's GAP, so GAP, old Simbo GPS tonight, WeBull tonight. You know, GAP is another name that we just looked over at. Oh, let's go. Google's right back up again. Do we have the bottom here on Google and we really let this thing go? Hopefully this can continue. But look at gap, man. This is another one here that, are we looking for that to fill the gap or fill this gap? But this could be okay tonight as we wait for some retail. You know,
solid turnaround story for them.
Yeah, they switched their CEO a while ago, and they switched over symbol. It used to be GPS. There. And then, of course, we talked about WeBull being one of the ones that's up. Did you guys like Adam? Yeah, let me know if you liked Adam if you saw that market recap the other day. You know, we're deciding on what to do with some new blood, you know, because we're going to get rid of Obi. So, no, just joking. We're not going to get rid of Obi.
For a second.
Well, everyone's just get all mad at me and everything. Obi's right here, so, you know, I'm not talking like that, but yeah, just looking for more. You know, Sharif all of a sudden, no one I don't think knew that Sharif was going on vacation, but he did, so a secret vacation for Sharif, and luckily Obi's able to fill in, but that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. It's as we expand the show and look for, you know, more ideas, more
New
segments,
blood.
and yeah, you know, we did good finding Joe and everything, and so we're happy, and it's
This is cool.
Shit, Joe's here. Yes, Joe, what I was saying is that we have a new host on the market recap show today, Derek, and I said hopefully we can get as lucky as where we found Joe. So there you go, Joe. It doesn't always have to be like, Joe takes out his, he's like, someone says shit about
Watch
me.
Derek get his own music.
Joe's like,
after
that's it, let's
30
scrap.
seconds.
Derek might come breaking through that.
Man, we don't even have our own music.
I
what I'm
tried to
saying.
request this. It doesn't matter. What we want doesn't matter anymore.
I want my own theme. I even picked out the track, and I still don't have my own theme music. The funny thing is, Fabian and Ramin are like they're hard to work over there. They're not even hearing anything that we're saying right now. David,
they're hearing everything.
Did we miss a
guys.
super chat? David, did you just super chat that?
What is it?
Is this working? Oh, there it is. That was a little slow, by the way, Fabian. Have weekend
Wall Street
Wall
Journal?
Street Journal, October 11th, 12th print on my wall. Oh, I see what you're saying. With one printed share of Lehman and Enron, 1,000 paper cuts. This is a lukewarm bath. So true. Enron, different story. The whole Lehman thing, like because if you follow the markets, like you saw this stuff. It's like you saw this stuff coming, and then just a wave hits you on Monday. And I remember, like we would come in some days, and we wouldn't know, what can we even short today? What are we allowed to short? Like
They banned shorting.
They
like on
banned shorting. It's like,
GM and all
okay,
that.
can we short this today? Can we short that today? And oftentimes, all the stuff that you wanted to short, unless you were breaking the rules, and some firms that don't exist anymore absolutely did.
I wonder why they don't exist anymore.
But they successfully poached traders because the traders could leave. And I remember we had one of our good traders. It's a true story. One of our best traders on our floor, we had it together, ended up leaving us because they could go to another firm to short, which was breaking the rules. And that firm ended up going out of business. And we know some people that didn't get their last checks. So that's the other thing. If you got a broker, that's why I'm happy with real trading, because they ain't never missed a check. Never. In 20 years, you never don't get paid out your commission that you've earned. And, very few places, I think, can say that, but it does matter. We know
It looks like Brendan's hosting the recap show, everybody. So, hey, Brendan, how's it going?
this is actually happening tonight.
There it is. Yeah, no, so there's the new desk in there behind us as we get all set up. Fabian setting up the cameras. We're just setting up all the lighting and make sure that's all good. I mean, that's going to be awesome. Imagine we could do the show at that desk with that bottom screen, everything in there behind it. Absolutely awesome. All right, so that's awesome that you have that Enron certificate or whatever
That's so
you did
cool.
have there. That is pretty cool. That's for sure. So shout out to you, David. Well, maybe send us a picture or something.
What was the
How you
first
do that.
individual stock you bought in your...
Oh man, I that's a good question.
I think I'm pretty
Probably a Canadian bank.
I'm pretty sure
one I
for
banked
me
with.
it was CIBC, but
Yeah.
it might be Rogers. But I think it was CIBC.
Yeah, it's something in that realm.
It was one of those two. I owned indexes and maybe like a mutual fund or something before that, but first individual stock. And it would be cool to have a certificate.
Here goes Google, hopefully.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, I don't have any stock certificates, I don't think.
our friend did that. We had a friend that did that.
Okay. There goes Google, by the way. So really good trade here on Google. Now up to 293. So finally getting that extension that we wanted to on Google. So there it goes, man. I mean, we just sitting there at 93. We grabbed that fill, and it's off to the races now. So we still have an hour left. I don't want to just keep on trading, honestly, the same name, but when it's working, I don't know what else to do. It's working. So I'm going to sit here and just let this now work. We do have our out for the TQs at 48, so that's about to happen right there. Breaking through the 200 period moving average, fine by me, man, if that's what winds up happening and we get taken out there. That's a great trade. We short from here. So we're 10% in the money, or we were at one point, now about 8% or so. I don't look at it like that. I'm just saying, like, what a dramatic move we had here in the overall market. Finally starting to get back a little bit. And yeah, just on my watch list today, like just some different names that I was looking at. So this is like the watch list that I have. There's SOXL there, 30, down 9% today. Micron, what a disgusting. I said 3 or 4 days ago, the house of cards out of all of this is Micron. There's nothing else, in my opinion anyways. There goes Micron to the downside, like pretty aggressively right there, down 10%. SMR, forget about it, man. That stock is cooked as if a nuclear reactor went off or something. I don't know what's going on there with NewScale. But Robinhood also, man, that's down another 8% today. So you can see Robinhood. I've been saying this, that it has a 9 handle to it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is time to buy Robinhood. I actually stuck my neck out, and right now it feels like a guillotine, but on Uber, I bought some more Uber this afternoon. That's the only, the other name I bought today, and keep this one to yourself, Samsara. I like IoT. We can see what this stock does. I really like IoT down here. We'll see if that gets going. That's going to be a logistics name that I think can go. So IoT, I like that name. Gives me like a little pre-Palantir, pre-revenue vibes right there on IoT. All right, Uber, Coinbase, obviously. Coinbase is going to get schmackied every time the Bitcoin goes down. I mean, it's, you know, and it's the same thing. That's what's happening with Robinhood and WeBull and a little bit with SoFi there. They've hitched their wagon to crypto. And when you do that and crypto's down 35%, it's actually probably a good thing Sharif isn't here, down that much. Crypto and Meta, I know, are two names that are sensitive for him, which is fine. I mean, you got to believe in them, and he does, so that's great. Here's Oracle. Oracle down another 5% today, down to 215. That's been straight line down $100 pretty much for that one. Yeah, just quickly here, Roblox. Okay, Roblox might be, again, like I got to look at some PEs maybe tonight. I mean, I did not expect to have this kind of a turnaround today, and it's not even that bad, but NASDAQ still down 1.5. Roblox finally breaks 100. That's almost in a straight line downside. So I can throw as much shade as I want to at Robinhood and all these other names. Roblox is a name that I've said I liked, and it's just getting crushed right now. And how about this name? When you were talking about fintechs, I was going to say, like, PayPal got that deal, some sort of a deal with Google before. And I didn't step in front of this, but I thought this was a good buy here.
It was trying to break out.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, man, like it tried to do this. Like, we were just, it's my chart is, I don't know. Oh, it's because he zoomed in. Andre's got to refix that camera angle, but there it is. Thanks, Andre. But yeah, it's just kind of like that did not hold, man, $65. And now you're all the way back into here. So wondering if we're getting a little excited now, possibly about PayPal. So
I can't get it. I'll show you guys some stuff at the lows. Maybe if we get a chance later on. But two things. One, we averaged up into silver. Well, not really. I got out and got back in. But then we finally had, it's not, I might have said in the chat an all-day trend break. But okay, there's been 2 days in Bitcoin, or just 2 days in the market. There's the morning, and then there's when it broke 90,000. So from the time it broke 90,000, this is a trend. And it's attempting to break that trend. So for the first time in the last, well, first time this week. No, I went long on Monday in Bitcoin. So anyways, I went long Monday. But we're long now for the first time, at least today. If we lose this trend, I'm jumping right out. It may seem like a tight stop, but that's the rule is the rule. If we lose the prior bar, I jump out of the trade. And then silver, which was hi-ho with silvering before, got back into it above VWAP. It was able to get to 46.15 in here, but then it lost a bit underneath 46. So the original entry price still going to be the best you got. Try to jump back in where we got out. So, I mean, ultimately, this is starting to roll over. I wish I had seen something that I even liked for a dump. There was nothing I liked for a short the pop. Like, look at Intel. I'm like, yeah, oh, Intel, get up. Come on, baby. Like, just get anywhere near those 70s. I would have been all over that. SMCI is on my usual-ish list. And like, it's like the worst stuff, which is what I want to short, does not want to bounce. As I said, it feels like you're getting one move on the long, but you're not getting a continuation on it today. Like you get you get the bottom, I get the trend break, but it goes to VWAP and it loses VWAP. You can't get greedy with the long at this point. We'll see. We're now in the last hour of the day, so I feel like you're getting closer to the point where maybe you start to see some higher end profit taking for the short. But then look at overall on a 60-minute chart, we have the one up candle on the NASDAQ, and look at the wall. And where's that wall? Monday's low. They're going right into Monday's low, and we're hitting it like a brick wall, and we're turning around. And what does that tell you? Like, that's all we're getting. And so with that, when you see a level like that, shouldn't have even, it's like get out of the longs there and just re-engage the shorts that are good at that price level. So maybe we get to this bottom, 24.27 or whatever, and there's another chance to grab a trend reversal or dip buy in something. But the chance to short, I think, was when we were at 24.4. And it's a very tight range down here relative to what we're doing, but we're not going to do this again. The Qs aren't dropping 700 points in the next hour. We're probably not ripping 700 points either. So you just have to trade the range that we now have. It's the big parabolic move has already happened today. And if it hasn't, well, anything is possible. I would just like to suggest that it's not happening again.
Yeah, but we could get an epic flush into the close, that's for sure, especially if there is some sell pressure.
Hasn't gone.
Because its market's only down 1.75, and we could be down a hell of a lot more. Look where we got stopped out on the TQs, man. I mean, I should have done like right at the 200 period moving average, man. That's crazy. We only had a little bit left, but still, that's the short that we had on. So it was a pretty epic short, needless to say, but stopped out of our last 5% or whatever it was at that point. Thinking about reloading it, but I really do think that there's some possible more pain trade coming through. So I don't know if we break that low or not. I almost rebought some Google there and didn't, so I don't know. I'm gonna get another piece out on Google. I just put an offer in the 70s. So if we can get up into there, get out, just because like I'm not feeling so great about this. There it is, okay, so there it is, boom. We'll say the gates of hell, as the whole market seems like it's getting into the gates of hell right now. No, I bought a coffee earlier, so I'm all good, thanks. But yeah, nice upside move now for Google as that keeps going. All right, let me call up that little thing that we have in the background there, our stock visualizer, and just to see if there is anything that you guys maybe, okay, let's look at Tesla. I know that's a very, very popular stock that a lot of traders talk about. I think like I'm kind of secretly, I don't know if you guys can see this, but like I talked about Robinhood, I talked about Micron, I talked about WeBull, we've talked about Walmart. Like I'm trying to handle all of these. I don't know what LFS is. We can maybe look at that. And then Palantir, I sort of talked about if you thought that there was going to be, well, I like that look, that there was potentially going to be a bid in the market. Maybe there's some Palantir love coming through as well. And then SGBX as well, and then Big Bear AI. I mean, in a market like this right now, I don't really want to look at Big Bear AI. We can look at it as a trade if some of you guys are stuck in it. I mean, I'm a Big Bear AI brigade leader, I feel like. We weren't even talking about this stock, and then all of a sudden we were, and I started buying this name, and we bought it on this way down right here. So it was this move down that we already saw it go sort of parabolic to the upside. When it started to come back down and we sort of saw that there was, 30% short float. I liked what Big Bear, I started getting deals with airports, and then they got a deal with the Navy, but whatever. We were buying into there, then we were able to get our average price down to $4. Then we got out at $5.50, $6.50, $7.50, $8.50, believe it or not. We got out 60%. We did not reload it on that last move down. So I think this is where there's a lot of traders interested in Big Bear AI at the get back up Google, man, where we get out of at the 200. So if you've been doing that on Big Bear AI, I mean, why not? Maybe let's do it again. I think that we can sit here now because we're through earnings. I know they're not making any money, but they almost turned EPS positive. I think there was maybe 7 cents, something like that, for Big Bear. But what about a buy right here at 530? I think we could probably do that tomorrow if it comes in. Let's have a look at Big Bear AI tomorrow and just see the reaction, because I think tomorrow could be another sell day. So I don't want to jump into anything on Big Bear AI yet, but I do like the stock, and I want to get longer in it. Tesla. So you guys were asking in the chat, I mentioned that Tesla was a name that I want to get longer in, and I do. And I think that this is, again, dropping back into the 200 period. I think that's a little bit much. If tomorrow by some way we can get, yo, what's up, Fabian? These look like some nice camera angles there. Uh-oh. It's the Brady Bunch right there. Thanks, guys. Whatever hair I have is a mess over here. But yeah, I was thinking right into here, 360, 370, guys, would be a decent zone, only because we're ahead of here. And if I just put in a few shares there, why not? Why not put in, buy, again, if your idea is to hold 100 grand of this stock or whatever, buy a quarter here, think about it again here, and then don't think too much about it here, because if it comes down to here, then I'd rather you just close your account right now and look at it in a couple minutes. But we were down here in April. So there's a lot of stocks that are back at tariff tantrum levels. Tesla's not even anywhere near it. They still can drop by half to get back into here, right? And so that's part of the idea as an investor. You got to figure out, which numbers are right, which levels are right, and which stocks are right. Because every stock you call up, you can find a level. I don't want to get involved with Meta too much, because again, I feel like the story behind Meta is just no cash. And they've spent a lot of their money on this build out. And like, if they can't show that they've made money or that they can turn a better EPS against their last quarter, and meanwhile they're investing hundreds of billions of dollars in data center build-outs, then I do worry a little bit about this Meta stock. We saw the Meta get absolutely crushed when Zuckerberg was apparently a little bit too interested in the metaverse. And that was not a great venture for them. They even changed their symbol name from FB over to Meta and their whole company as well. But we'll see what happens right now with them. But yeah, down 0.4. Actually could be a lot worse for Meta today. Surprised at how well it's holding up. But yeah, put some names in the chat, which names you guys are buying. I think Neil and I gave a couple indications of some stocks that we like on dips. I actually think GE Vernova is actually getting to a price right now.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving my bid.
But where are you at the 200? 5 bills?
No, I'm above the 200.
Yeah, okay, so that's all. Yeah, so fine. So
Everybody here could probably, if you watch the show enough, you probably could guess the exact price that I'm at in front of the.
I would say 542, but I don't know.
No, because that's too high.
Yeah, you probably Will
it's in
Clark
front of
levels.
500.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. I think it's going to be around here somewhere. 520, 522, something like that for.
No, it's not in this way. You know, maybe it's not that easy. It's 502.22.
Yeah, okay, that's why I said 20 and 22
is too high. 502.22. That's exactly what my bid is.
502, man, that is a 200 period. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm in front of the 200 period.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were well in front of it.
No, I considered 3 times in the last few weeks moving a bid up, and I'm like, no. I'm convinced somewhat that I'm going to get filled. So I've left it in there. I actually think it's only good till the end of the year.
Oh, end of the year?
Well, you know when you put it in, it's like when is your limit?
Next week,
when is your limit good till? And sometimes like I gave it enough time. It's way out there, somewhere in I think in the middle of December.
I'm only commenting on that because I think that if tomorrow could be nasty.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to get filled on that order.
But you won't get. This is not tomorrow though.
No, this before the. It might be like I think it's like December 15th or something like that. The order is good till. And then if I'm not filled by then, my intention is to buy it before the end of the year. Buy back in before the end of the year.
No, that's not a bad call because
if it doesn't fill me at some point in December, I'm just gonna buy it where it is.
Right.
Like I tend to do that. Like I'll hope for I get my bid on a dip, and if I don't, and we're getting toward like too late into the quarter or too close to the next report, then I'll just get my buy-in. There was a trend break on Circle. I threw it in the chat.
Circle? Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, I was gonna show the daily chart. The daily chart of this, which, you know, hopefully no one's in this. So there's the low, there's a kind of a distinct trend that lines up with the low of the day. It just broke the trend line. So the prior bar high, for anyone looking at it, is 67.15 or so. So call it like the 20s. That gives me a nice tight stop here. I don't even have any bids out yet because I just got into this. But looking for a pull. If we pull back down and break lows, I'm kind of thinking 66. This prior low is a good spot that we can work out of a circle into. And as I said, I wanted to show particularly this daily chart because Circle's doing something that you're not seeing in a lot of places.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
There's an IPO that is within a stone's throw of making an all-time low today or tomorrow. You know, lots of things were already breaking down. StubHub was already breaking down. Don't at me with StubHub or something that was already breaking lows. This went from 64 at the low, 64 something at the low, to $300 to now 66. We're trading it at 67. This could easily break that low. Could be floodgates. Like if tomorrow ends up a free fall Friday, all-time low breakdown on Circle, please. Whatever that actual number is. And I'll probably pull it up to be more precise, but it's about $64. I think there's no way it gets there today. We're a little bit, 40 minutes left in the session. Pretty unlikely.
I almost want to change this.
But that sucker is, all-time low break?
I almost want to change this vote. Because I actually thought about something. You just said it right there.
What did I say?
We should maybe vote on a free fall Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what do we think tomorrow? This is already 50-50. Everyone's wrong, okay? I mean, everyone that voted mini bounce, I think you're going to be wrong. I voted no. I said that even before we got this up. And I'm not just saying like, we're just having fun. I'm not saying that we're going to be wrong or right. I would rather be right. I'm only long Google. I mean, I would rather this start to battle back. But I'm just wondering like, what does everybody think about tomorrow? Because I'm not really feeling that great right now about this price action, especially the fact that we had just tried right there to go and then we'd failed again. Like for me, that's not a good sign, but it's only 314, so there still is some room to go. All right, this is the thing for me. right? Like there's really, this is to me the dog that wags the tail, just like I think NVIDIA's the whole market right now. This is what's actually bringing down the whole market. Forget about NVIDIA anymore. This was 98% chance of a rate cut in December. 98% just 1 month ago, all right? 99%, sorry. Right, now you're down to 40%, and yesterday we were down to 21%. And then unemployment came 4.4 versus 4.3, and that gave a bump to it. And then now today you get Cook and Goolsby and all that saying, you know, look out for potential market turnaround, okay? So I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling overly great right now about the next rate cut. And if the market doesn't get a rate cut, then potentially we're not in that rate cut cycle. And you know what the market's gonna think about that? No bueno. And that's what's been happening. Maybe my Spanish definitely needs work, but that's definitely something that's affecting.
Why is that incorrect?
No, it's right, but you know, I need to probably speak better Spanish. So this is the thing here. Someone put in the chat Constellation. I really like CEG. That's probably just like GE Vernova. It's a very, very similar play. So I was just gonna say, like, if you wanted to get something here, this is a good one, man, Constellation. This is not one of those like OKLOs or SMRs or anything like that. This is like a legit, right? This has been, or CCJ, if you wanna get Cameco, CCJ, if you're talking about uranium and stuff, this is another legit play. So this could be another one here that you're getting that's a real, you know, been around for a minute, they know what they're doing. We had a nice bump up on Constellation yesterday, and now today, both of these names getting hit back down to the downside. If anything, CCJ here, Cameco has been hit a lot more than each Constellation. So you might want to look at that.
Whoa, that's
$82.
That's a
right
good
now,
trade.
all the way back. Yeah, it's all the way back to some good levels, back to September lows. So yeah.
I never want to have too many
September
though.
highs, sorry.
I always try to I never want to complicate things when the market's in a pullback of buying two of the same thing.
Yeah, pick one, and that's
you just
don't buy Oklo, SMR, and you know, if you're gonna buy nuclear, just buy one. Yeah, or Quantum is a good example.
Quantum, yeah, exactly.
Or you know what I thought? You said it earlier. You could buy if you really believe in Quantum, go like $4,000 IBM, $4,000 Google, and then $1,000 D-Wave or something.
Like something like that. At least that way, if the worst happens, you're only going to zero on 10% of the play you made. But if Quantum shoots the moon, okay, well, you're going to participate all two or three ways, and one of your things is going to give you like 50x or 20x or whatever it might be. IBM's not going to 50x for you. It's not going to 20x for you, and that's fine. But it's also not going to zero, and it's going to pay me a dividend. By the way, I absolutely did not dip buy any D-Wave. I just suggested that as an idea if you wanted to hold some of that or get into some of that.
Oh, I missed that Google. I just want to, I haven't done, well, you guys know I bought SMR foolishly at $30, and that's going to be a problem. But that was not a significant amount of money. I'm not averaging into it. Okay, so we just got Googled out there at 392.35. Nice play there. Finally it looks like these are the highs. Until we break this 200 period moving average, I don't have any more offers out. Actually, my first offers I was still waiting for VWAP, so I'm still up here at 298.50, but I don't think that's going to happen today. Maybe we do get that turnaround. I want to see what people are voting. I actually voted relief rally. I'm not gonna lie. I voted relief rally tomorrow. I just think this is a little bit overdone today, considering I can't even really find a story there about why this market's coming down. So I don't really know. I think it might just be selling down. Love from Israel. Yo, what's up? Zzz, 124. Check the watch. The watch switches on that one. Thank you. So shout out to Israel, man, and thank you for watching. As this show, of course, many of you know, global. Right there, we had Nimrod visited us from Israel, actually. So that was pretty awesome when he came through. All right, Dave's muy bueno trade of the day. No bounce swing low tomorrow on anything with usual volatility. NVIDIA couldn't hold up the entire market. I mean, that's the whole thing, man. If NVIDIA can't hold us up, what can? Oh, there it's on the screen there. What can? I don't know. Just an overall rally tomorrow, I think. Look, NVIDIA should get upgraded. There should be, something there.
Oh, there'll be upgrades.
Yeah. So I'll wait and see what happens for tomorrow. I think what could send the market down again is more Fed talk. about looking for more data and maybe not being happy with the unemployment number, or I really worry about that rate cut.
Yeah, keep an eye on yields in the VIX.
Yeah, I don't even know what the VIX was obviously spiking today like crazy, I could imagine.
I looked earlier, but
And what's the dollar? We always have it up. But, okay, thanks, David.
Oh, there goes Circle. Oh, I'll go there. Let me go there in a second. I was going to show you guys the VIX, but executions first. So sat in it. It didn't really break it broke the trend line, but it never broke out of the range. So I wasn't really offering or bidding until we got at least, if I'm risking 25 cents, I wanted to at least move down to that level. So Circle looks like it's getting a bit of a relief rally. Oh, I should have said this before. This is actually, like if you think today was bad for Circle, I should have zoomed out the chart just to give you an, yesterday was actually worse for Circle than today was. But it looks like that's what does not want to break trend and head a little bit further to the downside. All right, now that I've done that, I was going to show you the VIX. I had this up earlier and then I wanted a 15-minute of Bitcoin when I was trading IBIT, so I was kind of looking at it here. But if you look at the recent spike, let me go to I think 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours is the best here. If you look at the recent spike, we just went back to our previous high in the VIX without breaking it. I think that's what's a little bit tricky here. So, the market's trying to bottom. We essentially spiked. We're holding. So, it's not like we're not falling back in. The last time we were at 28, it just spent the rest of it spent all of it falling back down. Like there was no strength. There was no buying coming back in, which is actually happening on this dip. So you're really actually holding the top end of the range here on the VIX, which doesn't make it seem all that great for a relief rally unless we start breaking back underneath 25. Like there's enough signs out there that would suggest this could still be rough tomorrow, but you never really know. You just go in there with a general bias, and this is the thing. You can have all the bias in the world you want, but at some point, you have got to flip the script. Best example of that, I was like, yeah, let's go trend trading long in Intel. I was like, okay, we get to the high. Are we buying the dip? Nope, we're trailing out. Are we buying VWAP? Nope. Oh, word? That's going to happen? Psych. And that's the thing, like all these stocks were the same. Okay, maybe not that one. Shoot. And then I pick an example of something that was never going up. There you go. There's an example. Like Apple. Apple straight up in the morning, parabolic so to the upside, and then look at that reversal. So you can come in tomorrow with whatever bias you want, but you have to have the that ability to flip the switch. Like I remember on IBIT yesterday, I was looking long on IBIT at the open, and it was working, and then it just turned into a short. So today I was like, yeah, okay, well maybe I'll start with the opposite premise in IBIT, and yeah, actually might be turning now. When I think about it. Nah, that's not the thing I want. I want to look back over with only about 30 minutes till the end of the day, 25 minutes until we get power hour.
Yes.
Well, sorry,
here.
imbalances. We're already in power hour. We just wanted to look to see if what we're doing here in silver. Still lower high being put in here. Not like it's getting to a point where I want it to show strength and it's showing weakness. That's not really setting up either. Wisdom 4860, Michael Burry laughing to the bank. Is he? I don't even, do we know that for a fact? Do we know that he's held
there was
all
some
of
back
short?
and forth there.
Could he have covered a bunch in some of the rallies?
Probably.
It's anybody's guess. Anybody's guess. I don't wish anybody ill, I just prefer when the market goes up, right? So like everybody else does. Ultimately, so I'm not sitting here hating Michael Burry, but I'm never gonna hope that a massive short seller, when I own a bunch of NVIDIA, I don't want it to work out, but it doesn't mean he's wrong, right? Like that's why you trim some things.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that story is, but I mean, he is making a rake if he's still in it because Palantir, that was shorting it before earnings, I think, and that was, it got its way up to 220 or so. So Palantir's also hitting the skids pretty good here over the last couple days, that's for sure. I mean, we were, again, like last week, I shouldn't say 4 days ago, but last week we were right here, man. We were at 192, now you're at 150. So, as the giants go, the harder they, stocks go up like a escalator and down like an elevator. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, Palantir is a good example of that, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of doing nothing and then sort of easing its way
Well, I
up,
wanted to make a point about Burry.
back down. And you can make a point about Burry.
So here's the thing, like, someone's like, oh, there's other bears out there. It's not just about Michael Burry. Here's my thing. Like, the reason I bring up Burry and Shkreli, because as far as I know, there's lots of analysts out there. Like, he says I'm taking short. So therefore, I know he's short betting. Or, shoot, what's the shorts? The Citron guy. Andrew
Left.
Andrew Left. You'd know when he was doing something because he'd say it.
Bear cave.
Yeah, Martin Shkreli literally said the price at which he was shorting some things. And that's the difference. There's like a million that like analysts, but you don't really know. So at least we know Burry said I am short here. Now we don't get necessarily an update until we see some 13Fs. Well, that's right. He deregisters, so we're not going to find out. That's the difference with him. At least with Kathy Wood, when she buys something, I can go to Kathy's ARC and, you know, whether it's making money or not, obviously, I know she said she bought here, and you could look it up. This is how much is in the portfolio, which is always pretty cool.
86,000.
What's 86,000?
Oh, crypto. I was just looking. Like,
Bitcoin.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And 28,000 on ETH. We don't even pull up that chart enough. Like we talk about Bitcoin all the time. Bear with me here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still on a 3-hour.
A long time still.
No, seriously. Like look at Ethereum. You're talking about 48 to 28. Where do you think we're headed? We're going to 24. This is one where I'm not even sure I don't even think I'm going to buy back into this. Like I sold some, I wish I could tell you when I was trimming Ethereum, it was at the highs. I'm not that guy. Like I was trimming this sucker at like 36. I was trimming it into this high. I was not that much of a believer. So I sold some in here to trim down. I'm not even sure I want to dip by this. I think if something crazy happens, like if we do get what looks like a liquidation type bottom, I might try to like pick something up on like a crazy wick. But no, I'd be more inclined to Bitcoin. I get the ETH is the future. I understand the stable coin play for sure.
The future,
I'm not going to zero on it. I believe in the fact there will only be 21 million in Bitcoin. And I believe in the fact that you will never be able to stop governments from printing money. I don't care what rhetoric you get or what austerity gets talked about. We are always going to create money from thin air because our entire system and economy is reliant upon it. And so long as those two things are true, I'll like Bitcoin for the bet because it's a limited supply. And I try to keep, for me, it's literally that simple. I'm not getting any more complex than that because I'm not an expert. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's all you have to do. Bitcoin doesn't have any value underneath it. It's what people think. And
exactly.
I like that. I like the fact that there is a limited supply and there is an opportunity to, buy something. The thing about buying shares of a stock is they can always issue more. We talked about, some of those convertible notes get dropped. We had one the other day with somebody, I forget who it was, but it was not a good one there. And just really, rinsing shareholders because all of a sudden, there's a float of 1 million, now there's a float of 1.5 million, right? So that dilutes current shareholders 50%. Right. And we know that necessarily cannot be the case at all with Bitcoin. Okay, so apparently there are some more. Look, I want to thank everybody. Everybody's saying what a great show we're putting on here. So I want to thank everybody for your kind words. We can only try to do as good as the midday guys as well. Okay, here we go. What does this say? What's up, Sean Nickel here? 200 Mexican pesos. Next time, send us some tequila over here. All right, buy ChatGPT. Hi, my name is Sean. Said to buy a stock in December. Okay. Yep, that's not a bad idea.
Telling you to buy, or this telling you how to buy, I guess?
Said, I don't know. Said to buy a stock in December, sell one put at your target price. Okay. So that way you can gain money for selling the put. That makes sense. You keep the premium, correct. And if the stock drops, you get the shares, correct. If it stays above, you just keep the money. Stays above. I'll have to think about how that works. But yes, that is right. So you can protect your own positions by selling puts. So that is another... Joe right there, man. Yeah, see? Joe, see, I've been listening, Joe.
Yeah, you look
right there. Yeah, so there it is right there. So
Joey Options was happy there.
So Joe is happy with my response to you there. So thanks, Joe. Just makes me...
I like the lunch today. Huh? Oh, my bad. I was asking, sorry, he's on the
Joe's
phone.
on the phone with his broker. He's trying to get more Bitcoin over here.
I can't tell I don't know
Joe's
he's
telling
on
them, look, I want all. Joe wants all 21 million coins around here. So he wants to make sure that there's no one else coming in to buy this right now.
There was a second one. Oh, we got two more. Sorry, we got two more super chats. Willis Addison. Oh no, that's not the Willis Addison one. I think you're next, Willis. But Jin got smoked. NVIDIA calls. Can we get 190 tomorrow? I mean, can we? I mean, look, it's a lazy answer to say anything can happen. But what do we need for 190? What do we need for 190? I think because of the volatility today, you pretty much just need the floor in the week to hold. It might be asking a lot. I think the good news would be it being a Friday. You might actually. Rob just gave me a quarter for some reason. Okay.
Rob did?
He just put a quarter. He just put a quarter on my desk. Got it.
All right, let's bet a quarter then. Let's bet a quarter.
What are we betting
do you think free fall Friday or not? What did you vote?
Oh, well, okay. Well, I now have a quarter I didn't have before. I say let's go free fall Friday.
Okay, so I'm going to go on the other side. So it's 50-50, so we'll go one way or the other, and then Neil or I, we'll bet a coffee for each other, but we'll just because the quarters.
Hey,
there.
man, whoa, hold on a second. Money on the wood makes the game go good. You
Yeah,
can't.
but what do you mean? That money just showed up. I mean, whose money is in here?
First of all, that's my change bucket.
This is what I'm saying. Well, that's my quarter then.
You can pull a quarter out of my change box
15
to go
cents.
bet against me.
Yes. There you go. Who carries money anymore around? Oh, but you have a
No,
quarter?
but that's why I have that. Like, it's just this. I used to have
we
a
go.
lot of change in that, and then over
2 dimes and a nickel.
money on the wood makes the game go good.
I never even heard that before.
Oh, it's like you're playing
It's like a
street ball.
dominoes.
If you're playing street ball or whatever,
okay,
or yeah,
okay.
you could be rolling domino, whatever it is.
I thought it was a domino.
If you don't, like, if you don't, you can't
Right.
say you're putting up.
Right.
No, cash
It's
goes
not like
on.
you're paying 3 card and you just always double down.
Yeah, cash goes on the table before the game starts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and it's just principle. If you're, I was gonna say, you guys know. There was a super chat where I was trying to answer. It was Jen, and essentially, the point was, look, there should be some kind of a wall of support in theory at 180. I feel like we're heading lower, so I can't really, I can't tell you I'm optimistic about it. Like, I wanted the long to work above a prior level today, and I had to give it up. I was looking all for this to hold to play in at 200 today. Once it didn't, I just gave up the long. I think the same thing for 180. If that level holds, it's not that big of a relief rally in 90. I'm just skeptical that we're going to get that. So we'll see. Anything can happen. That's a very key level. There was one more super chat. It was Willis Addison's, I believe.
Oh man, those noodles smell good. Damn you,
It's
Obi.
not. There's 2 more. Okay, Willis will get to it.
Willis McGahee? Florida, right?
What could have been, man?
Florida?
He was a Gator, and remember in the
Yeah, I
championship game,
know. I know. He
busted
tore up his knee. I know.
The guy was going to be a legend. Anyways, I'm a big fan of him.
No, I just smell it.
My NVIDIA earnings 180 puts were saved. So we get
Yeah,
the
no
other end
shit.
of the coin.
No shit, they were.
It's
But
like-
why did you not get out of those? I guess you just hold them. You never know what's going to happen. But the 180 puts, I guess, didn't. When did those expire? Because it didn't.
I'm
break.
assuming you're probably talking about tomorrow's, right?
Well, the thing is, when you buy them at 195 and it's down to 182, it doesn't even have to break 180.
No.
You're well in the money. Now, I would cover those.
Yeah,
Just in case they don't break. They might be Friday expiry, Willis. I don't know what your expiry is on those. They expire tomorrow.
Oh, it was a hurricane.
I would cover those. I don't know if NVIDIA is going down. I just got an update from Brendo. It's actually going to be a Dare and I on the recap show because we're doing all this change there. We don't want to throw
you'd be
new
throwing
blood.
to the wolves.
Yeah, I don't want to throw new blood in there. Throw them to the wolves there. So Brendan just double checked with me if that would be fine. Of course, I mean it's going to be a Dare myself. So that'll be really good. We're excited to have that back again, of course, as we celebrate what is a pretty eventful day today. That is for sure. We have earnings coming after hours.
Yes.
Oh, what I want, we have it's Gap. There's not too many.
Gap and WeBull, right?
Yeah, but there's bigger names than that. WeBull is actually.
Oh, Ross? I didn't know Ross.
Yeah, rosters.
Alaska.
Alaskan Air.
No, Alaska.
Oh, Alaska. ESTC. All right, here.
Biggest expected boost.
Okay, Adara's ready to go. She's excited. She'll be joining me on the recap show as she just tells me all these earnings plays in my ear. Okay, the thing that nobody wants to see, we're going to do it right now. All right, Ripple, $2. Like, I just want to go over what's been happening here in this market. Thankfully, Tether and USDC are holding up, because if those weren't, then we have a much bigger problem in the crypto space, that's for sure. All right, Solana 133, high of 250 a month ago, like wow. XRP, $2, high of 3 and change a month ago, amazing, crushed. Dogecoin there, 15 cents, man. I think that was just at 30 or something like that. Maybe not recently, but 20 and change. Cardano, I know where that's been. That was hovering around 60 for a minute. So down 17% Cardano, down only 8% Dogecoin. That's what's actually holding up. Cardano's the one that's getting crushed right here, actually. Solana down 7 right now. Ripple down 14. These two are what obviously is bothering everybody the most, right? The last week down 11% yes. On both of these names. So regardless, there's been people making tons of money on everything. And then we talked about this the other day, ZEC. So let's see what Zcash is doing today. Oh, yeah, Zcash today just up 8%. Right now, so down 78% from its all-time highs, it looks like. But Zcash is having quite the run, up 150% in 30 days, up 1,600% in a year. Man, what am I doing investing in Rivian and all that? Up 16%, I'm not in Rivian, up 16%, 1,600% in 1 year, man. What the hell is going on with Zcash these days? But anyways, there's a little look at cryptocurrencies. All right, just another little recap here. Google's about to come in one more time, and I don't know, we definitely don't want this position, right? So we'll just wait. We got another piece out, so we're 5% now. Remember, we were 10 there, we got another 5 there. I said I was still waiting for VWAP. That was kind of a joke. That's not gonna come in. I am gonna try one more time here down here at 90.50. 290.50, and then if that fills, then fine. We'll give ourselves 50 cents worth of risk, downside play coming through for Google. But
so there's a couple more super chats I want to make sure we got to. Hopefully, if we missed any, just please let us know in the chat. This one for sure, David, nobody should worry in a crash because people won't need to work, money won't exist, and everyone gets a robot named Binky. Thank you, Elon. I wish that were true.
You always need money.
That being said, hey, maybe we get to a utopia at some point. We're not in one, and I don't think we're. I love science fiction, but all the best science fiction goes the other way. You know, some really smart. What's interesting is all of the smartest minds, the ones that, if you look at like a Philip K. Dick or an Asimov, like the ones that seem to have a really good grasp. And when you look back at the kinds of worlds that they predict and things that they predict in the future, no one gets it exactly right, but they have a general idea. When any of them write about the distant future, none of them write about a utopia. None of them. Which is, it's depressing, but you know, I think there's certain things about human nature, maybe we don't do that. But it's fun, and thank you for that. And then we got another one in here.
Micron.
Just to remind everybody, there we go. Thank you, Safe. Thanks for all you do. Will Trader TV Academy include content on options trading? So we do have the Trader TV Academy rollout, which is coming soon. Keep looking out for updates. We will let you know when it's rolling out. It is going to be about education and trading. Now, obviously, here at Real Trading, we trade on the PA platform. It is equities. You can trade currencies, you can trade futures here, you can trade crypto here, you can trade, the aftermarket and all that. Currently, you cannot trade options. It's the kind of thing that, for sure, once that's on the platform, it would.
I was going to say it's once we haven't released any information about the academy, but it's a ongoing thing.
It is.
So it
will always be building.
Yeah, there'll be lessons on top of lessons and things like that.
Because the market's always changing. Yeah. Right, like when we go 23.5, when the market's effectively 24 hours a day, then there will be new lessons on how the structure will be changed. That is what it is going to be. It is a living and breathing beast. Like I told you, when I started trading as a trainee, the uptick rule was in effect on every NASDAQ stock. And then I remember when all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, you don't have to have an uptick to hit the short. It changed everything for that. There was also when Reg NMS came in. Right, so no one knows what Reg NMS is. So it used to be, how do I quickly explain this? So it used to be, why is this on Comcast again? It doesn't even matter. See all these different gateways?
It's a good one because it's not moving.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe that's why I had it on here. all these different gateways. Reg NMS basically means that all of these different quotes, NASDAQ, ARCA, NYSE, they can't quote a new price when price changes until all the other books go there too. So you can't have cross markets. It used to be so inefficient that somebody could come in on ARCA and it's at 65 by 66. Someone could swipe ARCA down 10 cents and fill ARCA all the way down 10 cents in the book, and the other gateways would still be there. What do you think that meant for day traders? It meant if you saw one of those orders, you could effectively see that happen, swipe the other gateways down, knowing the price is possibly going to correct down, and arbitrage. Like you either guess that that order is fugazi and buy that ARCA all the way down, and then think it's going to recover, or you think that's leading the market, and you could swipe the other books and essentially get that trade. And so the market's always changing. It's more efficient the way that it is now, but you don't get the arbitrage trade anymore. So that's one of those always new things happening. This ESTC that Adara mentioned is absolutely getting smoked right now.
Is it? Oh, no.
Look, since she mentioned that with the reporting, on highest volume of the day, it just broke the low. And all of this volume is the biggest volume it's made all day long before its report. There's only 10 minutes until the imbalances come out. So very quickly, and we'll go back over, CNQ is a sell of 2 million. SOC sell is a buy of 1.6. Oracle is a sell of 900 and 900,000. That's not very big. And no BM&R today.
Oh, buddy. I know, I was looking at that. Yeah,
No BM&R today. That's the first time in a while.
Because crypto's getting crushed.
Wasn't it just as bad yesterday, though?
You know what, I haven't, no, I don't think so. Was it just as bad yesterday?
Maybe not.
We did get, okay, so right now we are moments away from breaking on Google. We took the trade, completely fine with doing that. Looks like it's gonna break, and then that's that. So we're gonna get out here on a 290 break of Google. I mean, the orders are, there it is. The orders are, I don't even know if it broke there, but the order's already out. We actually got 290 flat. We should have, for some reason we got 97s there. I didn't even see that break. But okay, well, whatever, we'll flush it down. I mean, this is more for the market than for me right here. We did really good on Google, but there goes the break. Look at the market, man. Absolutely cracking into the close.
11% for Robinhood.
Maybe they're, you know, I voted like no bounce back, and we talked about that.
This is
Bad.
Micron lost 200.
Oh man, Micron, I can't believe not being short Micron myself, but.
You're at the 50 period and at $200, down 11% on Micron.
Yeah.
Oh, what's SNDK?
I mean, Palantir might break 150 tomorrow. Yeah, SNDK is another one. Western Digital is another one.
Oh, snap. This was, oh my goodness, of course it was.
Not good. Raw stores tonight, another one there. What is that, SNDK? Oh, how much is that down? 10 again?
21.
What?
21. Look at the flat bottom break on this piece of. This is the missed trade of the day.
Tell us how you feel.
Look at this flat bottom break. It's not so much that it flat bottom broke. It's not that it broke that low. On a 15-minute, there is one green candle that tries to hold that low and then immediate rejection.
That's what I'm selling
you
everything.
don't even need to be short the break. You can just wait for it to try to pop, and then you can short it when that pop fails. You could have waited for them to try to buy it, confirm the short, punch 225. This stock, this is, remember we were talking about it was Micron, what was the other, you said Western Digital. These were the three. It was SNDK, WDC, and Micron. Those were the three. Forget about NVIDIA, forget about AMD. All three of those were the most parabolic. What are the three that unwound the most today? I mean, excuse anything. I mean, crypto is obviously different, right? There's plenty of crypto stuff that's down 10% today. But there's no chip names or in that space that are down this much. So I don't know if these are even going to be buys at the 50-period moving average. Like I felt that way about IBM because it's more of a defensive type of growth play. And that's basically it. So I'm going to wait for 350 here, see if something pops up of interest on the imbalance locator, 5 minutes, nothing there yet. There's literally nothing there right now. But if something pops up, maybe BM&R, I don't know, maybe something random. It could, like NVIDIA could pop up out of nowhere. It's been a volatile enough day that maybe you get that shot.
That's your new position alert. I don't know.
I don't have that button on.
I'm in Tesla. You know, just to see, man. I mean, hopefully I don't know, but maybe there'd be some get up here into the close. So I bought it. You know, my stop is literally, as my kids would say, at the low. They wouldn't say this, but they'll say literally. We break 397.50, man, we're out of here. Honestly, like I don't even need, it doesn't even need, that exact bottom is 40s. I don't care. If we get anywhere near there, I'm getting out. My stop is 397 flat. I'm buying this low, 397.50, and then getting out. I just looked down, that's what I'm doing. Okay, you know what? We're 50 cents in the money here on Tesla, just real quick. I'm gonna take out 5% if we can get that above. Oh man, what exactly are we doing around here? All right, nice move upside. Let's just see if it continues to go. I don't know. We have these imbalances coming. They could be huge sells, but I'm in this name in case it's a huge buy. Tesla is at a level. There's been so many. I could go peruse my own Twitter and show you. We nailed Tesla down here many times. Many times. But today is not a day to be going hard on share size. So let's wait to see if this goes back to the upside. I mean, obviously hoping that the answer to that one is a resounding yes, but I don't know if that is going to be the case here by any stretch of the imagination on Tesla. But we're going to try it. It's a key level. We've been in here before. Let's see if there's some sort of get up to this name into the close, okay? We were just 75 cents in the money. We'll see if we can sort of get that feels about this name here. And of course, that's Tesla. We just got some out at 399.20 there, which was 75 cents. But hopefully we get upside. And if it breaks lower, it breaks lower. This is worth a shot for like half a unit. I'm not willing to. We've had a great day, man. We've really hit some of our levels today, and it's been good. We gave a little bit back on that Google breaking, and we may give some back right here, right now. My hands are on the keys.
BMNR is now there, by the way.
BMNR is now there as a big sell. Okay.
Yeah, 1.7, 1.3 now. It's going back and forth between 1.7 million sell, 1.3 million sell on BMNR. So the last couple of sessions, it's been doing this, like it'll be a sell at the lows, and then you're looking for a reversion if it pairs off. Oh, we missed another super chat. There we go. 3 minutes till the imbalances come in, so we got some time. SPX now below the 100 DMA. Actually, I use the 50 and 200, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Think the market can bounce, or do we trend to the 200 DMA? There. Also, for anyone that got it, AMD puts went ballistic.
AMD puts. Oh, well.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Whoa, what's that?
You're right about that one, my friend.
So I don't know where the 100 is,
You're
but
a friend of
presumably the thing. I like the 200 period because I know that that's a metric that a lot of funds look at. And when I line
Tesla,
this
it's
up,
your birthday.
the 200 lines up with the 2025 like February high before we dumped into the April low. So like that lines up really well. So like now that you've lost here, I'm kind of thinking like you're just in the middle of nowhere. I'd have to see major names bouncing off key levels, but the futures themselves, if we're in for some kind of an actual correction, then to me 620 is the loaded up level. So 2 minutes to go to the imbalances. I'm going to throw that back on BMNR because
Like,
that's
is
the
Joe
only
cracking his
thing I'm looking at.
Bitcoin or something
What's
over there? I
going
don't know what. He's on the phone with somebody. He's like, Victor, Lehman, this. So he's explaining something to somebody on the phone. I hate doing that myself. But here we go, man. He's liquidating his Bitcoin. No, I told you, he's buying all 21 million coins there. That's why he's got to make sure. He's putting in his ledger codes, probably. That's probably what he's doing. Make sure he can unlock everything, man. But here we go, man. We are now almost $1, but we'll sit this for OZEN if you're around. I told you what I was doing on Tesla. It came in, we bought 397.50s. I don't know what it's gonna do, guys. We're just having some fun here. I'm already out of half, to be honest with you, as it came right back up to the levels again. And here we go, let's go, man. We now have 1 minute away from hopefully something here happening. But yeah, BMNR continues to be a sell. Tesla, who knows what it's going to do. I'm sitting up there at 399. Maybe we get a fill, maybe we don't, heading into the close. signals, but we're waiting for Tesla to get going with only 45 seconds left, and it'll be the imbalances that really hold the day here for Neil and I. So I'm just going to go, not for Neil and I, but we're out of our positions anyways. Just activate this and get ready to see what comes in just 30 seconds now on these imbalances. So we'll wait for it. Just NYC, there's FXI. I thought we had BMNR on here. It must have came off.
It's been bouncing back and forth. It was a sell of 1.3 or 1.7, but it's been doing this disappearing act before. So
Tesla's coming back in.
I'm going with the assumption that like something shows up. So I'm only looking at BMNR right now. SOXL, that's irrelevant. 1.4
no, Tesla,
million.
don't do it before the imbalance.
BAC, that's going to be a nothing burger. So 5 seconds to go. Let's see what happens here. The market is at the lows. We talk about the late money being important money. NVIDIA's a buy, 2.7 million to the buy side for NVIDIA.
Let's go.
What else? I don't even know.
Well, I don't know, but Tesla must be a buy of some sort, or the market is a buy.
The market's
go
a buy.
Tesla. Yes, good move there on Tesla. Just spiked right back up. We almost got stopped out right before that. You might have heard me say, come on, market, don't do that right before the imbalances. And Neil, there it is right there, man. It's a $2 winner. So let's put that on the board right now as there goes Tesla, man. Hey, those who take the risk, you know, get the reward sometimes, and sometimes you get the fork as well. But right now, nice move right here to the upside for Tesla. We are now getting out on this, man. That's a nice move back to 399. We'll just sort of top the day off right there. And good on you, Tesla. Nice to see that move upside. I didn't even look to see, like Neil was mentioning.
It is 720,000.
Yeah, so it looks like most of them are going to be buys right there.
Apple's a buy, Tesla's a buy. The only thing that's a sell is Oracle.
NVIDIA almost
Oracle
broke.
and SMCI. Oracle's a sell of 1 million shares. SMCI is a sell of 900,000 shares. QUBT is a sell, but like whatever, that's a quantum name. Out of the big cap names, we don't have a total number. Shoot. We don't have a total number, but the overall market's a buy imbalance, right? Like NVIDIA's 2.5 million. Anecdotally, obviously Intel's there, Apple's there, Tesla's there to the buy side. There was one other name. There's Google for 600,000. So all of the mags have Amazon and Microsoft are small buys. Broadcom is a buy. All of the major names are buys with the exception of Oracle. BMNR did not show up, so I can cancel my stop order. It's not going to be a trade there. I just had to stop through the low of the day and was going to punch long if I saw a notable opportunity there. But there's nothing. Someone just asked, what about Hood? Did not see Robinhood. Look, I'm not anything. I can sort it by. The problem with small imbalances is to find Robinhood, I can either just put it into a list or I can do this. So Robinhood probably doesn't have a significant imbalance. It's not over 500,000, or I would have seen it. So I'll do that for you. 270,000 to sell on Robinhood. So it's actually not a buy imbalance. Robinhood's a sell, very small. But trust me, that's not going to move It shouldn't move Robinhood. I shouldn't say it's not going to, but it shouldn't move Robinhood that much. That kind of a sell imbalance. You want millions of shares. Yeah. Not like Tesla's a $400 stock, so 700,000. That's like good enough. You know what I mean? But Robinhood's only $100, so that's not a lot of notional value. And that's what you think about there. Just do that quick math in your head. Is it's a decent notional number, and then it might be significant.
All right, we, again, lucky enough, man, to put $2 more or so, 150, let's just call it, it's 150 or 170 right now on the board. So really good there for Tesla, man, and you can see we're getting out of everything right now. So I only have about 25%, now a little bit less than that left. Let's call it 20% left of Tesla. I was actually waiting at 401 to see if we get anything up here, breaking through the 50 period, then give me that right near the 200 period moving average there for Tesla would be quite nice if we could, if we're able enough, lucky enough, I should say, to grab that fill. We'll do that here for TSLA, of course. Breaking a little bit higher is what I'm looking for it to do. We'll see if it does want to do that. But if not, you know, our stop, we can put our stop, well, our stop is already 397. So if that comes through and breaks, fine, we'll give back a little bit, the 20% back, and I'm comfortable doing that. So that's going to be that kind of a play right there. And it looks like the NASDAQ's going to be pretty bad today, man, down 2.3, and then the ES not faring much better, down 1.5%. And I'm going to say, I'm going to guess anyways that the IWM is an absolute smoke show today. I don't, I mean, you know, well, I mean, same as the NASDAQ, actually, same as the ES, so it's not that bad, but this is more the problem. I mean, this is, you know, the NASDAQ's nowhere near the 50, or maybe it is, I have to double check, I don't think so. But the IWM is actually approaching your 200 period moving average, and they're not going to play nice with rates. No. So, you know, you already know about that. And just to double check, I wanted to make sure about the Qs. I'm always looking, but Neil and I look at about 5,000 charts a day. So, oh, the Qs broke through the 50 period. What am I talking about? Right there. Yeah, they smoked it today. So yeah, right down through. So similarly, the Qs and IWM. So maybe I should be dip buying the Qs right here instead of the market, of individual stocks. Just buy the market. The market's in trouble right now. 5 minutes left, and it looks like we will. Look, we did good. We did good on NVIDIA. We played those imbalances, but right now it's going to come out. Breaking of 297, and we are out of this just to make sure, yep, that's the stop. And here it comes in right now. You are moments away from getting a, hopefully, a flip up the other way around, and we can get, in 5 seconds, we'll see if it wants to bust.
Most of the bids have paired a bit.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. We'll have to see where the pairing, there it is. So it just breaks. It actually goes a little bit higher there.
NVIDIA is now a sell.
Okay, I'll take an out now at 298. We just got an out there at 297.90 on the way up now. I'll take another fill. Okay, another fill out right now. I don't know. It doesn't look like it wants to do too much. We just got more out at 98s. So here it goes. Let's just let it break. I have 5% left, 10% left, sorry, on this trade right now, but only 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, only 4 minutes to go, but all the buys have turned into sells. Whether you're trading NVIDIA, whether you're trading Tesla off the lows, whatever it might have been, the old days meant that you're risking your own money or having not enough capital to start out. That fear of losing kept lots of traders on the sideline, but it's going to change. It is changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. The limited risk trading model lets traders use funded capital, and Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. That allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit targets, you keep 70% of the profits, no fear. No barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading and powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now. Get 10% off your first evaluation. So shout out to them. I think I ran through most of the list of those flips at 55. NVIDIA turned into a sell. Oracle was already a sell. All of the other Mag 7 buys have paired off there. AMD is a small sell. We're not going to end up with a green day. You know, we're going to end up blowing past the 2% to the downside. But I think one thing that has come up a lot, at least recently, oh, this monthly chart. Whoa, what did I do? What did I do? This monthly chart of the Qs, which I can't even, let's just go back. What happened to my scaling? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on there. Whatever. I'm just going to go to, I'll just go to a higher time frame chart here. If you look at a daily chart of the Qs, at the beginning of the year, remember that, everybody? Remember February? Remember in February when we lost 25% off the highs? We haven't even sniffed that. When everyone's freaking out and it was just an unbelievable buying opportunity. So two things. One, if you're freaking out now, then, I mean, don't, I guess is what I'm really getting at. Don't freak out. If you're short-term over-leveraged, that's one thing. But if you're talking about your long-term portfolio, you can't be freaking out in this, for sure. But you can be thinking about, if something resembling this happens, what are the things that I'm interested in buying and where am I interested in buying them? That's the first place my head went. I was like, is there anything that I wanted to buy today that was at a level I liked? And where are some things that could hit in the next weeks and maybe next month if this is really the start of something crazier? Or maybe this is it. Maybe this is this kind of a move and you bounce and we just keep going up from there. You never really know. Chowbuster saying, is there an update on Warner? Is there an update on Warner Brothers? I haven't heard anything in my ear. I just saw someone just put in the chat, WBD deal. No, this is still not. If Warner Brothers had something more firm, there'd be a move up there. I'm waiting for, like, at some point, you know what, or get off the pot and somebody buy these guys or don't. Do it or don't do it. We got places to be, Warner Brothers. Thank you, Mike DeRider. Mike, oh, it used to be Mike P. DeRider, but everyone has different names now. Why is this not going up? Oh, there it is. I can't go a day without at least saying TTV number one. You know what's number one around here? Our trading community. That's yourself. It's look, obviously all of our viewers, and I don't want, you know, I'm not going to even single out. I'm not just going to single out individual names because sometimes it's easy enough to do that, and I can shout out a bunch of regulars. No, let's just talk about how great the community is. Whether it's supporting everybody out there when we all wanted like Alphabet to get to 290 or yeah 295 today, which it did. Hopefully some profits were taken, or whether or not it's just we get some great questions on options plays and what you can do with that, or what are we going to do with Bitcoin? What are we going to do with ETH? Whatever it might be. We're just here to all try to be a little bit better and smarter every single day. With only 30 seconds to go, I just realized, oh, it's really only 30 seconds left here. 30 seconds to go left in today's market. We are going to end on the lows. It's a sad thing to say, but it does, there's a certain, most traders will tell you this, close matters more than the open. What the late money that wants to hold overnight does, I think, can be very informative. And right now, the buying is not there. Not off the bottom right now. So we got the closing bell brought to you, of course, by Beta Pro, by Globex. Shout out to them. 3x Data Leverage ETFs, which would have got some fantastic returns to the short side here today. The market is now closed, everybody. 2.4 downside. That's the NASDAQ. So I believe we have Intuit. They're already out. Yep, and Intuit is already out. So you're already seeing a move to the downside on Intuit. Was already down and heading even lower so far here today. So a bit of a nasty day on NVIDIA earnings day, and now you have another report which is sending a stock to the downside. You have a special treat today. I mean, look, it's going to be Sean and Adair on the market recap show, but you can already see them setting up behind me on this super cool desk with the Toronto skyline and earnings out. So without further ado, I'm sure Adair has the Intuit numbers. I can hear them, but I have no idea what they are. Your market recap show, Intuit earnings, WeBull earnings are coming up in just a little bit. WeBull's going up. Oh, who put that WeBull is flying in the chat? That's not, you can't do that. That's not fair. WeBull popped 15 cents. You saw my, if it was on me, I don't know, I wasn't looking at my program monitor. If it was on me, my eyes were lighting up like the stock was gonna break out. No, it's up 15 cents. That is not it pumping. It's going up, but that is not it pumping, everybody. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that to everybody. People want WeBull to go up. I want this stock to break out. I'm cheering for anyone that happens to be in this thing. But for now, we have Intuit to the downside. We've got WeBull trying to make a move to the upside. It's up 2%. Look, I can't will this into existence, everybody. It's not moving. Intuit's trying to catch a little bit of it here. We're just waiting for them to set up there at the desk and be all locked and loaded to go. Now we are good. So without further ado, at the brand new desk, we've got Adair, we've got Sean. Your market recap show starts now. Come on, WeBull, you can do it.
Everybody, we've been actually good for a couple minutes. I have no idea where I'm looking. I guess over there. Hi, everybody. Yeah, we are now at the new desk. So, hey, Adair, how's it going?
I'm good.
I can still sort of, we're 6, 7 feet away.
I'm adjusting. I'm chilling. Hello.
Oh. All right, we're ready to go. Well, yeah, Intuit, man. What a move. That name just went to the downside and then right back up. And right now we just get WeBull coming through here as well. That's Intuit, downside a little bit. There goes WeBull up to 860 right now and making some moves. We'll get those numbers. We do have the financial juice over here as well as Benzinga Pro platform, so we're going to get that. But there it goes, WeBull right now. Adair, do you have those numbers? What we were looking for was 3 cents. You have Intuit? Okay.
Yeah.
INTU right here. This is a different platform for me, INTU. Let's have a quick look at what that's doing here in the pre-market. Heading a little bit lower. We were looking for 309, Adair. What do we got?
Yeah, we got 334, so it's a healthy little beat. Sales, $3.885 billion, beating estimates of $3.706 billion. So that's a cool double beat for our friends over here at INTU. Let's take a look at WeBull, BULL. They are up. Okay, let's talk about WeBull. So we have here adjusted earnings of 7 cents per share, beating estimates of 2 cents per share. Sales, unfortunately, were a miss, and not a small miss either. They reported sales of $83.657 million. I was seeing estimates of over 100 million, so that's quite the miss there for BULL, even though they did beat on adjusted earnings per share.
All right, I'm just going to load up an advanced chart here because I actually want to use TradingView. more than anything else right now, because we don't, get something that we're comfortable with using. But there goes into it to the downside. And if we call back up here, WeBull, we can have a quick little look there. I mean, I know this is a name that there's a lot of traders interested in, but there goes WeBull, nicely cooking there, up to the upside. So good report, it looks like. And if you were sort of dollar picking down here at $8, you've done well, because WeBull on the daily chart's actually been pretty beat up. I'm trying to find out where program is, but I'll just keep on showing you guys what I'm showing you. I don't know what's going on with this. This is a day chart. This clearly is no bueno over here. So let's just go back over to a 1 hour chart. Okay, let me not use these charts.
It was a SPAC, that's why.
Okay, no, but still, I know there's something wrong with this chart. I'm just going to call up another chart here, use some trading view, and get going right now. All right, Adara, what a wild day that we had. We don't have to look at charts right now, but that was an up and down day. What camera am I on? This one, okay. All right, so now I'm looking right at Obi and Joe. Yeah, so look, today was a wild day. We started the day with NVIDIA coming out with a nice beat. NVIDIA was up 4 to 5% yesterday in the post-market, and then again today in the pre-market. But around 11:30 or so, the market really fell out. And all of a sudden, the next thing we knew, the leaders started to be some of these chip names heading to the downside. We got complete destruction in stocks like Micron. We showed you SanDisk. And I said both these names were house of cards yesterday, and they're both down 21 and 12% respectively today for both SNDK and Micron, leading the way to the downside. Adara, do you have any other earnings? I'm just going to call.
I have Ross Stores.
Okay, let's go over that. I'm going to call up a new charting program over here.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So Ross Stores Q3 earnings of $158 per share versus estimates of $141.
Oh, that's how you do it. I'm trying to
$5.601 billion, beating estimates of $5.41 billion. So they did have a double beat here for ROST. Q4, they're raising their Q4 GAAP EPS guidance. They're now expecting GAAP earnings between $177 and $185 per share versus estimates of $179, so roughly in line. They also raised their GAAP EPS guidance for the fiscal year. They're now expecting GAAP earnings between $638 and $646 per share. That's beating estimates of $623. So GAAP EPS guidance beat for fiscal 26, in line GAAP EPS guide for Q4, and they had a double beat this quarter.
So despite having just an absolutely ridiculously red day today in the markets, I just want to sort of calm everybody down a little bit. If you come over to the screen right now, this is the S&P 500, right? This is the SPY right here. We're only down, we're not down too far here after a day like today. All we've done is sort of came back into October the 9th levels, right? And so sure, we've given up about a month and a half worth of gains. And if we look at something similarly here with the NASDAQ, it's the same kind of a thing, right? So there is pullbacks down in. I think the big concern that a lot of people have been worried about over the last little while, of course, has been Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, if we're going to use the same metrics here, these are the 200 period moving average. And we've broken that. We broke that a lot. Actually, today you get the death cross as well happening here between the 50 and the 200. So we are starting to make movement to the downside right here on Bitcoin. So let's be very careful with this. We've broken lower. We haven't been here on Bitcoin since April. So right now we're all the way back into levels that we haven't seen since, unfortunately, the tariff tantrum. And that's not going to go well for anybody right now. So we got to watch out for Bitcoin. I know WeBull is a big name that people are looking at. And unfortunately, I have some bad news on WeBull. We've just came all the way back in on this name, back down to $8 again, $8.30. So
God.
As Adara was just saying there, this is why I switched over now over to TradingView. But this is what the WeBull chart looks like. So as Adara mentioned, spacking out at $10, but we've now broken below there, and we're in trouble and looking for all-time low levels right now of 8 and change on WeBull. So what was a celebratory couple minutes there for WeBull turning out not to be, as we make lows right now. The other name, Ross Stores, came out today as well. You can see a nice move to the high side on Ross. Hit today, but we did get some good retail news this morning from a stock like Walmart, Adara. Walmart comes out and beats. Great report from Walmart. And then, of course, we get the news that they are now listing in the NASDAQ. So they're moving over from the NYSE over to the NASDAQ. Adara, who thought Walmart would go out at day's high today? So Walmart going out at the high of the day, we were definitely not expecting that, but that's exactly what wound up happening here with Walmart. What did you think about that quarter?
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good quarter. I mean, I have an infographic at XTTV Research. I'll try to pull it up as we get everything set up. But yeah, I mean, this is a solid quarter. I really think their global ad business revenue, though, that really impressed me because they did well in that last quarter. And this quarter, they're just continuing to impress on that metric if I can find my infographic. But yeah, the whole point I'm trying to make is, like, I think Walmart here, that's a good look for them. And I think in general, they're going to have this double
as well.
Yeah, pardon?
They hiked their EPS forward year look, so.
Well, yeah, they also hiked their sales growth outlook,
Yep.
but I think the ad, like what really stood out to me is the global ad business up 53% year over year. That's impressive. So I think that's worth noting. But I mean, Sean, as you said, everything's good. E-commerce global sales up 27%, e-commerce US sales up 28%. Comparable sales and Sam's Club comparable sales are up. There's really not a dark spot in this whole report.
Yeah, and what goes up must also come down. I mean, and today, unfortunately, the sad story. Oh no, we have a Patriots fan, Russ? Oh no, he's a Patriots fan over here. Is that Wes Welker? Yeah, okay. Shout out to the New England Patriots. Good wide receiver, Wes Welker. Hands, Wes Welker. But look at this, Google, I mean, this is crazy. Today we go out at all-time highs. But that was 11 o'clock. And then all of a sudden, tonight, down to 290 again for Google. And sort of the story here was they opened their largest AI infrastructure hardware engineering center outside of the US. That was in Taiwan. They opened that this morning. And that was the story there. A strong test of trust, says Donald Trump here, between Taiwan and the United States here. Google, obviously, a multi-trillion-dollar company right there in the United States, now opening up a data center there in Taiwan. Big time movement there to the upside here as Chinese AI gonna have to now run through a little bit through Google. So that was a huge spike, man. We really like Google making those new highs. But again, like, let's just calm down a little bit. I'll talk about some stuff that I bought here today just on a downward trend. But Google, this is what the daily looks like. We're still really excited for Google, and any dip buys in this name I think are prudent. So right here, the 50-period moving average, 261 on Google. If we're lucky enough to get something down there, I think that's a scoop, man, on Google. So we'll wait to see if we can get anything. A stock that I bought today was Uber. Look, this got all the way back into May levels where, and this might be a mistake, man. We might look back and say, hey, we should not have bought more tech names, and I agree. But Uber's PE is 14. All right, like that to me is well under a market multiple right now of 25. I know that probably got reweighted a little bit today. Let me know in the chat what you guys think of Uber. I like Uber. I just think it might be a little overdone, the extent of how robo-taxis and Waymo and all that will be affecting Uber. I heard yesterday, Adara, that Waymos are still costing 200 grand per car to put on the road.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
That's a little expensive when we're talking about Elon and those robo-taxis coming well under that, like 30 to 40,000, I think, even less on the robo-taxis. I think it's gonna take a while before Uber actually gets hit on that news, but today they're hit pretty aggressively. Remember, the stock market is forward-looking. So it's not about like what you think today, it's where are we going tomorrow and in the future, right? That's why we always look at forward PEs as well, looking at those numbers and the guide. But right now, Uber getting hit pretty good. Neil and I talked about CCJ, maybe some Cameco, get some good uranium plays right now instead of those SMRs. SMR, oh boy, do they have a day today. SMR finishes the day down 14%, absolutely horrid move down for SMR today and not really catching any bids. Another name that I think would be a decent name to be buying at some point would be Tesla. Let me know what you guys think about that one in the chat. 200-period moving average, not until 338. We have another bad day in Tesla, then maybe we get into some buy zones there as we look to see, again, back to May levels. Those are some of the levels that I'd like to buy on some of these names. But all right, Adara, we do the show for earnings, right? And we want to make sure that everybody's well aware that there's some earnings that have come through today. And Adara, what has caught your eye recently?
Well, yeah, I just want to say, so someone in the chat here, Bill's Camp telling me Ross store earnings are out. I did already go over Ross a while ago, but yeah, they'd have a double beat in line EPS guidance for Q4, but better than expected EPS guidance for the fiscal year. So we did go over Ross. I do want to clarify that because they came out a little bit earlier. But we'll talk about Viva because Viva actually came out at 405. We have Gap and Copart coming out a little bit later as well. Those are certainly going to be worth going over. And I'll look at ESTC as well. But let's talk about Viva first. So adjusted EPS beat $2.04 per share versus estimates of $1.95. Beat on sales here, 811.2 million versus estimates of 791.816 million. They guided Q4 adjusted EPS 192, slight beat versus 90 cents expected. Also beating on their sales guide 807 million to 810 million versus estimates of 800.575 million. They raised their guidance for the fiscal year. They're now expecting adjusted EPS between 778 and 793 versus estimates of 781. They also raised their sales guide for the year. They are now, they raised their EPS guide to 793, so that does beat estimates of 781. My apologies. They raised their sales guide to 3.166 billion to 3.169 billion. That is also going to beat estimates of 3.141 billion. So double beat, guidance raise, and beat across the board for VEEV. Let's take a look, though, at ESTC, because I mentioned this one had by far the largest expected move today. And I do apologize that we did not get our expected move calendar out. I had a lot to do as we were kind of getting moved over here, so I do apologize for that. But we did have Gap and WeBull earnings previews, so certainly still gave you guys some visuals. Let's talk here about ESTC. A double beat here. 64 cents adjusted versus estimates of 58. Sales, $423.481 million, beating estimates of $418.15 million. Their EPS and their sales guide for Q3 beat estimates. They raised their sales guide. EPS guide for fiscal year also going to beat estimates. Their sales guide also going to beat estimates. Yet, guys, they are down post-market. Yeah. Even though they really did have a beat. Like, they are the exact same type of quarter as what we just saw from Viva.
Yeah, down 7% there for ESTC, so we weren't really expecting that kind of a play there, as it was bleeding all day also. So yeah, nice little move down there for ESTC, and we could just check in on WeBull. That's kind of not doing anything right here off earnings. So you know, wish that there was a little bit more happening there, and we had a request for raw stores as well. That's nicely upside right there, which makes some sense. So we'd like to see that, as we did get a good quarter from Walmart. We did not get a good quarter from Target. That was hovering around $86 today, down to $83 as that continues to bleed. This is actually a name that is also broken down off of their past support. I was still long this name actually in the 86 to 88 range on Target. That's not looking very good. Nothing's looking good today. If you're gonna, you know, in a vacuum, you're gonna look at it. It's gonna be pretty bad there today. We did get PAN-W yesterday. So again, PAN-W, you know what that stands for? PANW?
Palo Alto Network.
Perfect. Yeah, you're too smart. Good one right there. So. Palo Alto, PAN-W. Nice move.
Out.
What was that?
Gap's out.
Gap is out. Okay, let's go have a look at that, see what's going on there. I'm going to say Gap might be a beat. All right, see you, Joe. Great day today there, Joe. But here we go, gapping down right now. No, gapping higher, Adara. There goes Gap. I only said gapping down because I was sort of thinking that's maybe where it was going to go. But there goes Gap right now, a nice move higher from 23 up to 24 and change. Looks like we get a couple percentage points higher here on Gap as we go. So, Adara, what does that look like on their numbers?
Yeah, it's a great report, actually. Net sales up 3%. They were flat last quarter on a year-over-year basis, but this quarter they are up 3% year-over-year. Comparable sales up 5%. That's the seventh straight quarter of comparable sales growth. Gross margin better than expected, 42.4%. Now with Gap, I like to give that context because this is not necessarily a company that does super well on like these quarter-over-quarter numbers. But let's talk, or year-over-year. Let's talk here though about their Gap EPS, their just normal EPS and sales. I guess, you know, Gap was in my head. EPS here, 62 cents versus estimates of 59. That's going to be a beat. Sales, 3.942 billion versus estimates of 3.91 billion. That's also going to be a beat. If you want to look at what we were expecting from this report and what they reported last quarter, you can find that infographic on X at TTV Research, alongside a photo of their Matthew McConaughey-looking CEO, Richard Dixon. So why not check that out on X at TTV Research, because I have all that info for you guys. Let's see if Copart reported earnings. They were supposed to report at 4:15. I actually have had some people in the chat asking me about it. All I have is their actual, like, literal earnings report, so I'll go through this quickly. Apparently, revenue increase up 0.7%. That's not great. Increase in gross profit of 4.9% year over year. Increase in net income up 11.5% year over year. So pretty small growth there for CPRT. I think with Gap, especially given that their net sales are flat last quarter, this 3% year over year increase, not bad at all.
So, Derek, today we got, you know, the unemployment that we were looking for. September's read, right? So we were expecting 4.3. We got 4.4.
Yeah.
So that sort of started the ES, with the S&P 500. That sort of gave them a little bit of a jolt early, but only early and not late. If we go into a 5-minute charter, so you can see the SPY here getting a little bumped up early when that number was released there at 8:30, taking us to new highs, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, Fed speak started happening, Cook came out, we saw Donald Trump going on True Social, things just didn't look that good, and then all of a sudden the SPY, I don't remember the last time I saw a 5-minute chart, guys. Like this is a 5-minute chart, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. Just no real relief at all. There was some kind of a bounce around 1 o'clock that gave us that, but then that was rejected and only brought us into the lows of the day again. So the SPY down 1.65% today and not really holding any bids, and the same the same can be said for the NASDAQ, which is basically the exact same chart as that goes down to the downside. We did talk about IWM a little bit here today, as they are, of course, IWM comes into play as small cap, right? This is the Russell 2000 index. And if we are going to get out of this rate cutting cycle, that's not going to be beneficial to, they're not the beneficiary, beneficial to IWM and small cap rates are looking for lower rate small cap stocks, right? So as that comes through, we do get a little worry spot there. And I'm just gonna look up Fed rate tool again, because we did get down to 50% on that number, and it was 40 and change actually, Adara, wasn't it? When the last time we looked at that, and here it is right now.
It was like 30 the
Yeah,
lowest
so there it is,
I
man.
saw.
It's 40 to 60 right now. And I was just wanting to point this number out to everybody. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but right into there, it used to be 99% chance of a rate cut. And right now we're looking at December 10th, we're just looking at 40%. As we go out into January, it's looking a little bit better. That's where it gets to 50% chance that those are the rates come January. And then looking out to March, we may even have a chance at 50 basis points from here, 9% chance that we're down 50 basis points come March. So I don't know. I mean, until these get a little bit better, Adara, I feel like the market has a ways to go. And as we get more and more Fed talk, if they start talking negatively about some of these numbers, it should spark some kind of concern that potentially there is going to be no rate cut. But the lower inflation goes, right? Maybe we can get a rate cut if that inflation number can come lower. And if we start to worry more about unemployment, that should send that number even higher as well. So if unemployment, if the October, are we going to get the October number?
That's the thing, we probably won't, and that would likely be the report that could actually lead to a cut. But because we're not getting it, and because September NFPs were way stronger than expected, the Fed has even less reason to cut now. Like I said that right off the open. The second I said, like not even at the open, at 8:30 a.m. when I was over there, I saw that number and I literally said, I'm like, yeah, if we want a rate cut, those hopes have been dashed with that NFP. I want to say as well, some people are saying that the reason for the drop in the market today has to do with the yen carry trade unwinding. I did look into this, and there does seem to be some evidence to back that up, but that was like, people have been talking about this for the last couple of days. I would need to look more into it. I think it's less obviously that than it was on August 5th, 2024, Black Monday as we called it, or like the most recent Black Monday. But yeah, so I did look into this, and I could not, I will say that there are people talking about it, but I cannot verify it yet. Also, people were asking, what was Trump posting about on Truth? Because we mentioned that. We were not going to say what he posted. You guys can go into social, find it yourself. He was reposting a lot of things. He was reposting like random users with not a lot of followers. It was interesting, and it happened, and it could, we're going to have to wait and see how that unfolds.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was like aggressive posts about Democrats and things like that.
Right, and I think just like the intensity that it got could be concerning in a way that could impact sentiment overall, right? I do want to say, look at the Japan interest rate. It says ongoing news. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not. That's not what it is. I'm just saying that like last time we had that yen carry trade unwind, we figured out what it was almost instantly.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I actually called up the chart for you, Adair, because you actually remember the exact date.
August 5th. Yeah.
So here it is right here of 2024. So we went from 551 on the S&P 500 to 511. So we actually got hit. I remember, hey, shout out to Adam DeLuz. I was in London at this time when this happened back 2 summers ago. But it was right into here, man, 510 or so. And that lasted 2 or 3 days. So we gap right into there. And then it was whoops all the way to the backside. So if that was what's causing this, we did have a drip from 550 down to 5. So let's call it 7 or 8% down on the SPY. So if we go sort of forward to what we're talking about right now, if today was the start of it and you're looking for a very similar move, remember that was 511, right? We're at 670 today. So if you drop again, another 7 or 8%, it would put us into the 620 area. So maybe the 200 period moving average would be something to talk about right there. I just heard out of my ear there that Gap is having a little bit of a move here. So we can just quickly go back and check what Gap is doing. So they are making a higher move here with earnings out right now. So Gap goes just that little bit higher in for today. And then WeBull is the other big name. And then there's, of course, Ross Stores that we continue to talk about. But I have bad news about WeBull, guys. WeBull just turned red right now. Now,
you can read more about
WeBull just broke $8. So I think this is the first time I believe we've broken $8, unless that has happened before. Get out of here. We might have broke it there post-market. That looks like a pre-market break right there, down to $8. But right now we are officially doing that on earnings. Downside for WeBull as they continue to focus, unfortunately, on crypto. That's not going to be good. Talk about focusing on crypto, man. Robinhood right there. Does Robinhood break $100 tomorrow? I say yes. We'll see if that does happen.
WeBull was a double beat. It was misreported.
Isn't that crazy? So a double beat for WeBull.
Yeah, because it was initially reported as a miss. So yeah, people were mentioning this to me earlier and I didn't see it, so I do apologize, but I did look into this. So yeah, they did actually have a double beat here. Sales of 156.936 million, up 55% year over year, versus estimates of $135.577 million. They did beat on adjusted EPS as mentioned. Revenue up 55% year over year. Trading related revenue up 64% year over year. Operating expenses though, this could maybe be an issue. They're up 18% year over year due to higher brokerage and transaction costs. Adjusted operating expenses also up. So they're spending more money. That's a little bit, maybe a bit of an issue. And they're actually making money, which is always nice because they've been losing money in the past. And then what else here? Adjusted operating profit improved. Yeah, this is not a bad report. It always sucks when things are like kind of misreported or, you know, disseminated incorrectly. But usually the market will kind of correct for that. If it does want to go up now that this has kind of been corrected by Benzinga, maybe it will at this point, though. I think WeBull's unfortunately made up its mind to, you know, barrel lower.
I like that. Get those bulls.
Well, isn't that what the Bulls do? The little thing,
yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Texas Longhorns.
Wait, what?
That's a college, University of Texas.
I heard Texas Mom horns, and I was like, why do Texas moms have horns? Okay.
No comment. If you're from Texas, shout out to Texas there. I want to thank everybody that gave us all the super chats today. It was actually a fantastic day, and I hope everybody's okay. It was a very fun day. It was a very exciting day. I want to thank Obi for filling in for Sharif, of course. And Sharif's gone all week. The surprise vacation there for. Sharif back already? No, okay. Quickly here, this is the stock heat map, man, and this is, of course, Adair's corrected me when I was like, where's SOFI? But this is the S&P 500 index. So everything was green early today, and now not so much. And there's a little bit of saving grace here in the retail side, as we have Walmart wind up beating TJX, some of the discount retailers there going through. AZO, of course, Abercrombie coming through as well. Target down another 3% there. And it's Amazon, the big guy, down 2.5%. So that's kind of a little bit of a back and forth there. Financials, you know, some save here as well as some of the lower banks, the regionals, coming out with decent numbers. But Berkshire finally turned red there, down 0.3. So Berkshire, If we go to the screen here a little bit better, yeah. JP Morgan, wow, they were flat for a minute, down 1.6%. That's not great there, Adara, as we go. BAC down. But Berkshire, I think, might be a little bit of a save there. If you're looking to buy an index that has a lot of cash, that, you know, maybe a little more conservative, that might be a spot there. Berkshire, of course, new management now with Warren out of there. What's the dude's name from Canada?
Greg Abel. He'll start on my birthday, January 1st.
Okay, well, let's not forget that. Happy New Year to Adara and her birthday coming.
And it's also Charlie Munger's birthday, too, so it feels very apt that the new birth, the new face of Berkshire Hathaway starts on the birthday of one of the OGs. Isn't that kind of beautiful? Cycle of life.
Yes, that is a cycle of butterfly. Is that a butterfly effect? No, that's just cycle of life. Okay, this show is definitely getting not a little long in the tooth here, but I do want to say we didn't have a lot of earnings today, but we did have a very aggressive day of trade, right? And I think that what we might have learned today from everything is, you know, take your winners when you see them. you know, but at the same time, be a little aggressive. Like, you can get monster winners. We had a great trade in Google early, and then we also had one late, right? It's like about being patient. Once the market goes and the trend can be your friend, but if you continue to fight it, it will be a problem. And I think that some good examples that we have of that, Palantir, I think, is a great one. I don't have my charts up here, but I actually was buying Palantir here early on in the day. Once we lost this 170 though, we scrammed out of there. Like, it was a real quick out, and I was thankful of that because Palantir just kept on going to the downside, and you don't really want to be part of sort of a cascade like this. Again, this is a 5-minute chart, like no relief at all, basically from, let's call it 10:45 down into 12:30. So you almost don't have one green candle on a 5-minute chart for about 2 hours. So if you start to fight this trend, all you do is average in, average in, average in until you eventually get to a pain point where you have to punch out, okay? So you gotta be very, very careful of doing things like that. But at the end of the day, we did get a real nice win there with Tesla. And what we were able to do was go back and sort of zoom out a little bit and find a level for Tesla that we like. Now, I was heading lower here. Actually, we're down to 393, yikes. Oof. But I found this level right there at the end of the day, 398, almost said 298 there, on Tesla, that wound up working for a little bit of a quick bounce there near the end of the day. So I think that if tomorrow is one of those days where we start to head to the downside, I think we got to initially take a short, right? Maybe right off the open and let it work for you. But then if it doesn't, make sure you get out, because something could happen just like we did here at 9:30 where we just took off. Tesla all of a sudden was 412 up to 430 and then down $40 right there. So down 10% from its highs today is Tesla. You don't really want to be caught in anything like that. I know a stock that you really enjoyed trading, Eli Lilly, actually pretty flat on the day.
A lot of the NYSE ones held up incredibly well. UNH held up incredibly well. Walmart, obviously not going to be NYSE soon, and it had earnings, but they held up incredibly well. Like, I've just noticed, as someone who kind of notices patterns like that, and who trades, weirdly, a lot of NYSE stocks, I think the NYSE's held up on average a lot better.
Okay, that's strange, because it really shouldn't matter about the market that it's at.
Well, it shouldn't, but it's I think basically what I'm trying to say is non-big tech.
Right, that's what I was
going to go. NYSE has a lot less tech.
Yes.
That's probably what it was.
That is what it is. I mean, the NASDAQ has tech names, but the thing about the NASDAQ, they're going to get Walmart. You know, so there we go.
That's why Walmart's interesting there. Walmart's
as we start to diversify in that space. But here, just quickly, here's the heat map for the healthcare sector, right? The health services sector. So UNH right there as well. And then, it's not all of them, Centene and whatnot, Humana, their downside as well. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed our new sort of format here. We are very excited. I mean, this desk is pretty awesome. You can see just the size of it all. We've got lovely Toronto in the background, and there it is right there. Again, everything here. Just can't wait, Adara, to see what kind of segments we come up with. There's Obi. He's still here doing work. Hey, Obi, give a wave. There he is. Yeah. Looking at charts, man. Joe's gone. Neil's gone. I'll be gone. Obi's staying late. That's why we love this guy. Thank you so much to everybody. And Adara, thank you for all your patience today. I know you sort of lost your work desk there for a minute. And it's funny because when Sharif's not here, it's fine because you'll be working here. But we're setting up everything. And often I don't even see Adara until almost 8:30.
No, until 9:30 basically.
9:30 basically, yeah. Because you're
Sometimes
off.
you don't even know if I'm here.
Well, I always pretty much know you're here. I mean, I see the watch list come out,
that's fair.
and I understand that that's being worked on. But yeah, look, thank you again so much for joining us. We're all back tomorrow at 8:30, so get ready for another wild day, man. Check your portfolios tonight. Make sure that you're still in the right names, and if something's getting to a pressure point, make a decision. Don't sit on your hands. That's the one thing that if we can teach you, have risk management, and everything will be okay. Okay, for Obi, give a wave goodbye. There he is. All right, that's Obi. He's literally 10 feet away from me. Shout out to Obi and Adara. Thank you so much again today. My kid's playing chess. This is chess or checkers? What do you prefer?
I'm not good at either. I'll do chess.
Good choice. See everybody tomorrow. It's that camera. Ciao until then. I'm Sean. You guessed it. That's Adara and that's Obi. We'll ciao till tomorrow at 8:30. Please join us then.